Yeah, yeah, yep. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, can you hear me? I mean, yeah, I sound like $1,000,000
I lowered the wrong thing. What about now? Testing, testing. Motherfucker. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Okay. All right. Now we got
We
audio.
got
A
people in
much
here
better audio.
already?
Huh?
We got viewers?
Yeah, I think we got a viewer. I think our viewer
Okay.
is we got three viewers. What the fuck? All right.
What up?
Both y'all sound good. All right, cool. All right. I don't know if I could see chat from here. But rough, if you're one of the streamings, uh then it says it recommends you pick up the bit rate, the audio bit rate. I don't know. He says we sound good, so I'm not gonna do that. All right. Rough, if you could monitor chat, if there's anything in the chat,
Uh,
um,
sure. Figure out
yeah,
how.
because I don't
But
want them fucking texting me bing bong. All right, here we go. Welcome everybody. Uh, let's introduce first myself and my co-streamer here, is Slim. Here for another, hopefully not marathon session of Marvel Cinematic Universe discussions. I'm here with.
your boy Fino Drake Raya. What's
All
up,
right,
everybody?
all right, and here's how this is gonna go. Okay, we this is a completely unoriginal format. We borrowed all of this, but we're gonna make it our own. We're on Tier Maker, and we have here all 66 MCU projects from the Hulk movie with Ed Norton all the way until basically the current Daredevil Born
There.
Again season 2 that's going on. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to alternate turns where the first person is going to take one of these MCU projects and rank them. Our ranks are very simple: S, A, B, C, D, and F. They're going to rank one of the projects, give their rationale, and then the person that follows them can do one of two things. They could either rank their own project that hasn't been ranked already, or they can choose to skip their turn to either bump up one rank or bump down one rank the previous pick from the last person. Okay, so a little bit of strat, but it's to make it so that so that's a little bit of not competition, but a little back and forth to it.
Yep.
After we seed, after we rank all 66 projects, we will then seed the projects, sort of like March Madness,
NCAA tournament. Yeah.
NCAA tournament style.
Hmm.
And then in a future episode, which maybe in a week or two, we will then take those seeds, fill out a bracket, and then debate the head to heads until we have a winner, a DK
There you go.
winner of
Yep.
the
Yep.
um of the MCU projects to date. Okay. Um so that's what we're gonna do. We haven't decided who goes first, although I feel like being a gentleman and
I
allowing
feel like you should. I
No,
think
see, the fact that
as
you want me to
I
go
think
first,
I think, just being honest, like
nah,
this is your channel, the channel
exactly,
you get to lead the
exactly,
way. I'm following
exactly.
your lead,
It is
you
my
know.
channel,
Okay, you're
therefore,
right. Can,
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you go first.
I'll go for Can I ask a question though? So
Go for it.
for the people as well, can you just explain like each rank so
Oh, sure.
I know?
Sure. I mean, like I said, it's a simple SABCDF rank. I interpreted this as S is like an all time classic. It's a movie or a show that it doesn't even probably even have to be a Marvel product. It's just that good of a story or a narrative. S
Okay.
is like top of the top tier.
Top tier.
You
Top tier.
know,
Okay.
nothing is perfect. Nothing.
Oh, well.
But they're as close to it as
Okay.
possible. See the agenda is showing.
Okay.
An A rank is like a classic as well. A solid superhero comic booky type of movie or a character driven narrative that just really captures something special, unique, but is not quite at the S tier. The S tier is like transcendent, you know. Uh, B is solid. The rewatchability is there, but you don't necessarily always seek it out to watch it. You know what I mean? If they're giving it on TV, you might say, "Ah, fuck it." But we're past the 5 minutes. I don't know because I don't want to be demonetized already. But you say to yourself, "I'll watch it," but you don't go out of your way to watch it. You're not inviting people over to the house to watch it again. Say, "Hey, come over, let's watch this." That's not the
Mhm.
B tier. But if they're giving it on TV, you watch it. The C tiers, those are the movies that feel like you have to watch them to because as we know the MCU is all like interconnected. So maybe the C tiers are the ones that is good to know, but once you do it, you're good. You might not watch those again, not necessarily. The D tiers, those feel like absolute homework. They feel like yeah, the things are connected. I definitely don't want to watch it again, but there's something about them that doesn't make you regret watching it. It's just you don't seek it out. If that makes sense. And then the F tiers
Got
are the ones that you regret watching. They're the ones that they don't just feel like homework. They feel like punishment. They feel like filler. They feel like you're gonna watch this because it's Marvel, aren't you, you bastard? That's what those feel like. The ones that you don't want to watch again aggressively. So okay,
Makes
that's
sense. Makes
how
sense.
I interpreted the different temperatures, the different ranks, however you want to put it. That's how I interpret it.
Okay.
Maybe you
Makes
did
sense.
you interpret it differently. We're gonna see how we ended up ranking these things. Okay.
All right.
But with all that said, I still feel like you should go first.
Okay.
Um,
I'll go first. No problem.
and then I'm just making a little column here for how you're ranking things compared to me for reference sake, and
Okay.
then where we end up seeding them when we do. So I'll control this over here. You tell me which one to grab. You tell me where it's gonna go, and you tell me why. Or you tell me which one to grab. You don't tell me where it's gonna go. You just explain where it's gonna go, and then you tell me where to put it. I mean, it's up to you.
I got you.
The
I got you.
showmanship is up to you.
So I'm trying to decide, if I want to go with a banger, you know, kind of shock the world a little bit,
Oh,
or just do a little layup. Just just score the
it's up
easily,
it's up to you.
you know.
You might pick something that you know
Hmm.
damn well we feel the same way about. Who knows?
Yeah, I really well I know for sure we do on one of these. So,
Okay.
but let's you know what
You could
let's start
describe
with
it
a banger.
first if you want. You could describe it first, and
No,
then I'll
no,
go get it.
I got you. I got you. No, no, we're gonna go with a little banger. It might be a little shocking to people. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but there's a show, and we're gonna start with a show, not a movie, too.
Okay.
So this show, to me, is obviously set the tone of what a Marvel show should be. You know, it's the from the very first episode until I forgot how many seasons it was, but it was it was a great show from the very beginning. The action, the pace, the tempo, the whole thing, the whole mood of the show was just perfect to me. I really, really loved
Inhumans.
it. Inhumans, no, 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 we're not gonna go with Inhumans. Um, but it was so great that it had to be born again. You know what I mean? So we're gonna start with Daredevil, the first one, the Netflix Daredevil.
Uh huh.
Okay,
Uh huh.
and
Where
like I
you?
said, we started with a banger. And to me, bangers, classics, that's S tier.
Whoa.
So we throwing that straight to S tier for me.
Whoa.
S tier. I just those especially, oh man, because what was it, 3 4 seasons? How see? I
The
think it was three.
Daredevil series on Netflix was 3 seasons, and
Three
then
seasons.
four if you count, or 3.5 if you count Defenders.
Defenders. Okay, so first 2 seasons is not even a question. The third season was a little bit of a. It did go down a little bit, but just a little bit, in my opinion. And then he carried Defenders. So I mean, well, I wouldn't say carry. I would say
Hmm.
him and Jessica Jones carried Defenders. So for me, I just absolutely love that show. I'm starting with that Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil, S tier. What say you?
Oof. Well, if you can tell by my facial expressions, um, I feel strongly about this one. Now here's the thing. I have Daredevil Netflix series. I have it as an A.
Okay.
I have it as an A. The
And
Netflix.
apparently we have someone that agrees.
Well, that's fine. Really, the chat is agreeing with you.
Yeah, someone in chat agreed.
Okay.
No,
Well,
no, with you. They said
oh,
A
with
list.
me.
They said A
Okay, we'll
list.
see. Well, here's the thing. The Netflix series, they're important because they, like you said, they set the tone for what a Marvel series could be.
Hmm.
I don't know if they set the tone for what a Marvel series should be. Okay, there's a difference.
Okay.
And the thing that I have with the Netflix series is an issue that I have with a lot of Netflix series, not just Marvel ones, is that they
Hmm.
tend to have their dragging points. Their points that that really either concentrate on characters that is not a payoff later on for paying attention to them so much, or
Hmm.
or it takes a little bit to get to the, not necessarily the action, because the action sequences in the Daredevil series were top notch for TV. For
Yeah.
American TV,
That
top notch.
hallway, that hallway fight. Oh
Oh
my
no,
god.
well, a hallway
Mm.
fight is now synonymous with Daredevil, the Daredevil series. They didn't
Mm.
originate it. I think there's a old martial arts movie, Old Boy, I think it's called, that it has that classic hallway fight scene or alleyway fight scene that it looks like it's in a small space. But what Netflix has done with it is like when you see a hallway or an enclosed space, if you see a prison
Mhm.
aisle or whatever, with jail cells or a stairwell or whatever, it's like you're about to see something that's gonna make you woo, because somebody about to kick ass, whether it's Daredevil or Punisher. And I
And
think
shot
DC
in one
too.
scene, by the way, too.
Well, no, not
The-
always. They do little tricks to
No,
make
no,
it,
I'm saying that
but it
that
makes it look
particular
like
one
it.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, it makes
Yeah,
it look
it
like
was
it's
shot
shot
in
in one
one.
in one take. Yeah. So I have Daredevil at A because of those moments of drag, and because it leaned a lot into, they weren't directly or as connected as Born Again is trying to be. They mentioned the
Okay.
blip and the incident and shit like that, but it was very on the fringe. And in a lot of
They
ways, it was a lot
Mhm.
like Arrow and the CW when it came to Batman. Like they wouldn't just blatantly say Thanos or Captain America. It'd be like,
I mean, they couldn't. You can't
well,
blame them for that.
that's, to me, like, again, we're ranking MCU projects. So MCU is how much it ties into it, how much it built on things, and the payoffs. So for me,
Okay.
I had it as an A.
Okay.
Um, But do I feel so strongly to pull that down to the A for my turn, or do I leave it there? That's what I'm thinking. I'm worried that we're gonna have too many S tiers. I don't know if
Okay.
all our S tiers are gonna overlap. So far, you got one more than I had. Okay,
Okay.
but
And just so
I'm
you
good.
know, I just added this to my S tier like 20 minutes ago.
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna waste my turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that one there.
That's a victory right there. Let's
You,
go.
if you want to call it a victory, that's fine. Like I said, I had it in A,
It's
so
a
it's not like
victory.
you
I'll
took
take it.
a B or C tier thing and threw it up there. All
I
right.
got you.
For me, let's go. Looking down the list.
What? Oh,
Um,
Cortez said we should go in chronological order.
eh,
Nah, that takes the fun out of it.
nah, it takes a little bit of the surpriseness and the fun out of it. Yeah.
Hmm.
If we did it by chronological, eh, we just going all over the place. All right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna reach for a movie. I'm going movie that
Okay.
I felt was solid, but not the best of that series of films.
Okay.
Um, we're yet to see the full totality of the impact of the movie. The movie had a good villain, an
Good villain.
elevated villain, probably
Oh,
one of the best portrayals of that villain. But we're not talking about like a top tier villain in that particular hero's rogue gallery. Okay, rogues gallery. Um,
okay.
it's in the middle of the series so far, and I would say it's about in the middle in terms of the quality of the movies in that series. What I'm referring to is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
I have Spider-Man Far From Home at B. Okay, I have it at a B. Spider-Man Far From Home, like I said, Mysterio really cool. Um, one of the things that I hold against Tom Holland Spider-Man stories is the leaning and the reliance on the Tony Stark connection that I felt was forced. Um,
Okay.
and that's why I'm so looking forward to the upcoming Brand New Day, because I think it's finally we're gonna see Peter be his own hero. Um, but I felt like this movie. The other thing I didn't like was the whole scroll connection because Nick Fury wasn't Nick Fury. That thing just
Right.
that the way the scrolls were handled throughout the MCU just rubs me the wrong way. You'll see that with my rankings. Um, but this particular movie, I felt like out of the Spider-Man movies was like probably the weakest one. Overall, and even though I like the development of the relationship between uh the Peter and the MJ of this story,
Hmm.
I still felt like the action sequences it was heavy on the illusions, so big fucking water creatures and shit like that. The twist at the end and the betrayal at the end was cool, and we did see some ramification of it, but I still feel like that hasn't fully settled yet. Um, and last thing I'll say is I really hate when they kill off their villains or they do away with them. I really
Okay.
hate that, and so it sets up like a dead end narratively for me. And unless you really dropping the mic on shit, I don't know. So for me, I got this at B.
So I have no problem with that at all. I have Spider-Man Far From Home as a B as well.
Okay.
Um, it's the only thing I had. I don't even have an issue with it. I like the movie. I think
I didn't say I didn't like
you
it.
know
B.
me. No, no, no. I know. I didn't say you did it. I
Okay.
just
Okay.
said yeah, yeah. I'm just saying I really did like the movie, and it was tempting to put it at A. To be honest,
How
it
tempting.
was just how tempting. Not enough for me to waste my turn and move it there, if that's what you're asking. Um, I think that the only thing I probably heard it a little bit was that it wasn't in New York, but
It was far from
that,
home.
but it was far from home. So obviously the title makes sense. Well, other than that, I thought it was a really good movie. I liked the villain, like you said. I thought Peter was really good. You know, Tom Holland played that whole dynamic with him and MJ figuring it out and all that stuff was pretty cool. So I have no problems with that. Far from home, B, I'm cool with it.
Okay, moving on.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna get this one out the way. Uh,
Okay.
because it is definitely a F tier type of movie. To me, it's probably ooh, trying to think. When it comes to I fell asleep on 3 movies from the MCU. This was definitely the first one,
Where you
that
fell
I fell
asleep.
asleep within 20 minutes.
Okay.
Uh, I I'm just gonna go ahead and throw Quantumania in
Okay.
F tier, please.
You got
That movie
Quantumania
was
at F tier.
that movie, if there was, a lower a lower level than F for us, I would put it there.
Okay.
I think this is by far the worst MCU project,
This is the
by
bottom of the
far.
barrel for you.
Yeah, this would be NCAA tournament. This is number 66, 68. Like in real life, because I think NCAA has 68 teams now. Like
Hmm.
it would be 68. It would be first one out. If it probably wouldn't even make the tournament. That's how bad it is. It's only there because we have no choice. That's
Mm.
how bad I think this movie is. I don't think Ant Man should be in any type of battle with Kang and
That
defeat him. Like that
that
just
was a
doesn't make
choice.
sense to
Yeah.
me. I just yeah, that I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'm done with it. You go ahead.
So you got it at F.
Got it at
I'm
F.
not gonna fight you on it. I had it at D. The reason I had it at D was, I think, for a fairly obvious reason. Um, for all intents and purposes, even though I agree with you, Kang had no business being here, especially if he wasn't gonna just straight up kill Ant Man. Okay, he had no business being here. At least the performance was good. Like, I don't like how it ended. I definitely don't like how
You're
it
talking
ended.
about the
I'm talking
performance
about
of
Kang's
Kang,
performance. I'm talking about Kang's
the only
performance.
standout. He was the only
The
standout.
only
I'll give him
standout.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give him only standout.
The Ant Man. I'll go and say this. I feel like the Ant Man trilogy of movies is by far the weakest trilogy uh in the MCU in terms of, I think overall the Ant-Man movies are the most underwhelming, lowest stakes, impactful movies in the MCU in terms of a group, a trilogy. I don't think
If
Ant-Man.
you're talking about impact, then yes. I think if
That's
you're
one of the
talking
things I'm talking about.
okay,
Also,
okay.
just in
I
terms
was
of
gonna say
the villains, like the villains in 1 and 2 were inconsequential. Like, I know we
yeah,
got
yeah, for
Ghost in
sure.
part 2. She was cool.
Yeah,
But and then in the first one we got Yellow Jacket, and in the third one you get Kang and fucking Modoc, which was really Yellow Jacket again. Crap. This movie,
yeah.
if they would have killed off Paul Rudd, that's the thing. The Ant Man movies feel like a Paul Rudd trilogy. They don't feel like an Ant Man trilogy. You get what I'm saying? It feels like, oh, we got Paul Rudd. He's popular. We need to give him 3 movies. Now, there's humor that I like about it. I love Luis in 1 and 2. I don't know why the fuck they got rid of him in 3.
Mhm.
uh Luis should have been kind of this meta narrator for recaps and shit in the MCU, because people really enjoyed that. I don't know why they just didn't include him in 3
Yeah.
or at all in any other way. But you know, the special effects, there was a lot of green screen shit in this one too, in Quantumania,
Mhm.
but the only reason I had it above an F was the Kang performance. Now, Kang's
Mm.
journey ended probably right here. Actually, ended in an after note in Loki season 2, but on screen it ended here. And then
Yeah.
all the stuff that happened. So in
Well,
terms of
for now.
stakes, yeah, in terms of stakes, again, it's low level. Wasp was more interesting to me than Ant Man was. Uh, and they had a chance to make Cassie the hero in this one, and they didn't, to build up the new Avengers arc that they seem to want to be going to, or the champions or whatever. So I'm not gonna waste the pick on moving this up. It could stay in the F tier.
Okay.
The Ant Man series is hella weak in my opinion. All right, so we'll move on to the next thing. Let's go on to an animated project. Let's go on to an animated project. So,
Yep.
Disney Plus, they're trying to manufacture all these stories and things like that, and shove them down our throats and justify raising prices for their new platform and stuff like that. Um, Animation is hard. Takes a long time to develop these stories, and I get that. But I feel like along with Quantumania, a fumble for Marvel, the MCU, was the misuse of not only this property, but also the concept. I mean, if you're gonna go multiversal, then go big. If you're gonna go multiversal, then play with the possibilities. If you're gonna go multiversal and you're gonna ask a question like "What if?" then make that "if" all caps and play with it. And I don't feel
Yeah.
like they did enough of that. So I'm gonna take Marvel's "What if" and I'm gonna put that in the D tier. Um, because I feel like it was a missed opportunity for Marvel to really take some risks. The best part of the series was the last 3 minutes of the last episode when they basically showed you everything they left on the storyboard, which
Hmm.
ended up being more interesting than anything they decided to put in the actual episodes. Um, you see who's at the forefront in the artwork for this. It's Agent Carter. I mean, if that's not an industry plant, I don't know what is. Uh, Everybody likes Peggy Carter, but we don't like her that much. For them to build a narrative all around her. The only reason I don't have this lower is because that Doctor Strange episode in season one was really cool. I really liked that Doctor Strange episode. I felt like we should have seen more of that. Multiverse of Madness kind of referred to it, but not enough. And at the end of the day, I feel like What If is where they should have just they had all the toys in the toolbox in the toy box. You could have played with anything and done anything you wanted, and at the end of it, just say the watcher was taking a shit. Here he comes. He's gonna edit the video and put it all back to where it is. You know what I mean? Like you could have played around and you didn't. And because of that, I have a very low level. It's a D. I don't fully regret watching it, but I definitely will not watch it ever again.
Well, uh, I didn't think I was gonna waste one so early,
Oh, well,
but
what you doing?
I'm going to because
Go for it.
although you don't want to put it in F tier, your boy is definitely going to. Um,
Okay.
what if is definitely going in the F tier.
So you're gonna use your
I
your turn.
I'm gonna skip my turn and put
Okay.
that to F tier where it deserves because I think What If is the second worst MCU project ever.
Okay.
Um, it's there was nothing entertaining about it at all. I will say the Doctor Strange episode, which as you referenced, they mention it or not mention it. They kind of bring that Strange into Multiverse of Madness.
A
Don't get
little
me
bit.
started on that movie. Um, that's probably that was a little cool, but other than that, I mean, I don't see any I don't know what impact that show has on the MCU. And if this is a thing that we're going to do about impact, the only impact it had on me was I had a good night's sleep. So, it's going to F tier for me
All right.
and right where it deserves. And you could put it to the left of Quantum Mania if you want to, because like I said it was the second worst, so
I
you could
see.
do that.
I see. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I'm go ahead.
Okay. So I guess I go again.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to this one. I wrote here a star-studded dud.
Star
Great
studded dud.
cast. It was shot beautifully. It was actually shot
Oh, okay.
beautifully.
Uh-huh.
But if it's not clear that there are no plans to continue the story of this particular group, I
Mhm.
don't know what could be more clear. The irony is that the title of this movie would 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 make you think this is something that was going to last for a long time,
Yeah.
but it didn't. And so I have Eternals at D.
Okay.
I have the Eternals at D. Um, you know, it was I like the cast a lot. It's just the idea that they were in the background all this time. I think there was more that they could have done with that.
Okay.
The ending, the post credit thing with Eros and Puck. Was it Puck? No, not Puck. Sorry, I forgot the name of that character. Puck is the guy from Alpha Flight. But anyway, that whole ending with Styles, was it Harry Styles, whatever. Uh, Not interesting enough to me. Arisham took these guys away, but Arisham, they didn't do a good enough job of setting up the Celestials as like this threat.
Yeah.
And then in terms of an impact, the idea to have the celestial corpse in the ocean and then not refer to it in like any movie all the way up until it was a little
Cat.
Easter egg in She-Hulk, as like a background thing on a website, like a news story. That was pretty lame.
Yeah, and
When
then in
at
the
least
Falcon
Daredevil,
too.
right? At least Daredevil Netflix mentioned the blip a couple times. The
Hmm.
blip sounds so whatever, or the incident, whatever the fuck, the invasion they called it. It's like no one even mentioned a giant celestial in the ocean sticking out of the ocean. You know what I mean? You would think, you know. So Eternals impact very low. Cast was good. That's the only thing that keeps it for me. And it was shot very well. Like in terms of a movie, it was it's nice to look at.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I got it at D.
I'm fine with that one too. I think all your points were valid. Cast was great. Um, it was just it's just an unfortunate thing because it's like they kind of like pushed it to the side. I don't know really what happened with it. What was the reason Feige decided not to continue with it? Um,
It didn't make a lot of money. That's one of the reasons.
yeah, but I feel like they could have done something. I don't know what, and then of course, we got the at the end. You had the whole Blade thing,
Yeah.
and we still haven't got anything about Blade.
Nope. That might be the only thing we get from Mahershala. Mahershala's
Yeah,
Blade. That might be the only thing we get.
yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
I know they did reference it again though with the Falcon movie, but um,
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about the
uh,
Celestial.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna do something with it. I guess I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna keep it a D. I'm not gonna touch that. I think that's fine.
Okay.
It wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't that. It just wasn't good. It was really, really like below average of
I feel like
rating.
there's other movies that did a better job of establishing the impact or the presence of a character
Hmm.
in the narrative before like current day MCU stuff. I think there's
Hmm.
other examples that did a better job of that where you could say, "Oh, that's why that character is important," or "That's why people see that character that way." I think there's better examples of that than Eternals was. Eternals should have felt like that more so, and
Yeah,
it's like nobody knows who they are, nobody cares.
yeah. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Um. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move on to my turn, and I'm gonna go back to S tier. I'm gonna knock out a heavy hitter real quick. This is, I think, arguably the best movie in the MCU. I've heard a lot of people say it is. I think it's up there for sure, obviously.
Okay.
Um it looks like one of our viewers also believes in this movie. So for you, Al, I'm going to go ahead and put it up there. Winter Soldier, S tier.
Winter Soldier, S tier. Tell us
I
why.
mean, this is this might be the closest to a perfect movie there is in the MCU. If it's not perfect, it's damn near close. Um, I mean, what's there not to like about Winter Soldier? Just the whole introduction of Bucky was cool. You know, Not Bucky, but him as Winter Soldier
Hmm.
was just really dope. The story, the pace, it was just beautifully done. I think from top to bottom, I can't think of one flaw of the movie. I really can't. So if that's not a definition of a S tier movie, I don't know what it is.
MCU
Oh,
standard.
and MCU standards, yeah, and gotta love Black Widow. Shout out to Black Widow, she killed it in that movie as well. So,
I think it was the best use of the Black Widow character, best performance of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow character in all the MCU. I think
oh, some of the fight scenes too. Oh man,
all of the fight
with
scenes.
yeah, like
I think all the fight scenes were good.
yeah, pretty much. But that one in the street where it was Soldier versus Cap, and then I think even Widow was in there trying to shoot him. That whole scene was just
I even
crazy.
like the
So,
scene when Nick Fury is getting attacked in his armored SUV. Even that part is
hmm
cool. The rooftop chase with
is
Cap.
that's also the one with the elevator scene, right? Am I bugging?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the elevator one. Yeah, I
And
always
this
confuse
is
that
really
one.
the Hail Hydra whisper in the air type greeting shit. More
hmm
from this. Yeah. I have Winter Soldier as S tier as well, and it's one of
Yeah.
those movies. See, this is why I say that Daredevil Netflix. Maybe you could make the argument too, maybe, but he's more power reliant. I feel like Captain America: Winter Soldier is one of those MCU movies, one of those comic book movies, one of those superhero movies where it didn't have to be a comic book or superhero movie. It was that good, that solid, that if you make Captain America just Jack Reacher, like if you just make him, it still works. Like if you take all the Marvel licensed characters off of the of who's on the screen, but you give the same performance type shits, and you do the movie, I think it's still solid. And
Yeah.
I feel like beat for beat type, this is like the Dark Knight of the MCU. Like because I feel the same way about Dark Knight. Dark Knight could have just been a detective noir, detective murder mystery thriller type thing, and it still
hmm
would have worked even without Batman
It
and Joker.
stands. Yeah, it stands
Like
alone.
so
Yep.
I feel the same way. Is it perfect? I mean, there's weird stuff with him and Sharon Carter's niece. That's weird, but whatever. And
Yeah,
then
it
the
is what it
Sharon
is.
Carter character. This is nitpicky, but the Sharon Carter character, they tried to use her in Falcon Winter Soldier as this broker character, but that didn't go anywhere.
hmm
And
Shout
that was
out
a
to her
long
though,
time in
because
between.
I love the actress. She was in a show called Revenge, which
Uh huh.
I love Revenge. So I was happy when she was in the
Well,
MCU.
in Revenge, she had even the title suggests she had a motive or something to do. Over here,
Yeah,
I honestly
we don't we don't know it yet. We don't know.
nah.
It could
That's
come.
done.
We could
Let's bury that.
It
But
could come back.
anyway, I also have Winter Soldier at S, so I'm not gonna move it. I'm gonna leave it there as well. I don't think.
You could put it ahead of Daredevil.
Oh, okay. You know what? I agree. But this is what I will say. Even though I had it at S, I feel like as a movie, as a film, it's
hmm
probably it's probably the best MCU movie, but I don't think it's the best Marvel movie. And I'll make a case for that later. Because like I said,
Okay.
you can strip it down and it's still a good movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but I don't feel like it's the best like Marvel movie.
I would agree with
And
you.
I'll get to
I
that.
agree with that.
I'll
I
get
agree
to
with
why.
you.
But not now. Okay. Uh let's go with okay. I'm gonna go with one that solid movie. If you talk about impact, it's probably one of the top three impactful MCU movies they ever did.
Excuse
I
me.
think it's undeniable. This movie got a lot of non-comic book fans to show up to the theater. The box office was insane. Like I said, the
Let me know
cultural
what this
impact
is.
was there. Um, Not a perfect movie, I think it's slightly overrated. But when you say that about a movie that I'm gonna rank as high as A, you're really nitpicking. Great villain, but I have to hold it back because I don't want to be hypocritical. When you kill your villains, I feel like that knocks it down a little bit for me. And two villains got killed in this one. Two iconic villains of the hero were killed in this
Yeah.
one. But in terms of world building, in terms of just representation for people of color, like things like that, I felt seen with this movie as well. I'm gonna put Black Panther at A. I got Black Panther at A. Um, Chadwick Boseman was amazing. The cast was amazing. Rip in peace to him. I still, not to get into that too much. We'll get into it more whenever we decide to get to Wakanda Forever. I do feel like they should have recast him after his unfortunate passing. Um, because the character is like a lot of these characters. They there's so many stories in history, decades and decades and decades of stories that I feel like they're bigger than whoever chooses to or whoever gets the chance to portray them. Um, and I feel like there's so much more that they could and want to do with Black Panther, and maybe they'll address that after Secret Wars. But Wakanda Forever, all those phrases, the cross on the X, even though that's from the Bronx, but whatever. I got this at A, and that's where I'm putting it.
But you said this was overrated, right?
Yeah, because I feel like some people look at this as like it's the best, and I think they mistake the
Oh,
best with their favorite. I think they mistake
okay.
impactful for for the best too. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was impactful because it got a lot of people. People were dressing like they were going to Sunday service to go see this. I saw that with my own eyes. People who only went to see it because this was a black film, and it really was. I mean, Ryan Coogler. If there was anybody in line to take over for like a Feige, let's say, if he was ever interested, especially now that James Gunn is out of the. I mean, if it's not Coogler, I don't know who, because it seems like everything he's touching right now, narratively and on film, is good at minimum. You know what I'm saying? And I think he knows how to do ensemble movies. This was a solid ensemble movie. So was Wakanda Forever. I think he knows how to tell a very complex and emotional and deep story with a lot of characters, and not and it not feel cheap. I feel like he has a great eye for representing different cultures. Not just African American, not just African, but also like Latino, Hispanic. Like I think he has an eye for that, and he also has a great humor in his films, in the MCU films. Wakanda, Black Panther felt had that familial tone and all that.
Mhm.
That felt authentic. I think that Ryan Coogler gets very authentic performances from people who work for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a coincidence that Michael B. Jordan's best performances are behind the lens of Ryan Coogler. Is what I'm saying. Because I know definitely in the past on previous podcasts and stuff on Two Nerds or whatever, we used to joke about how he's not a great actor. He's not great, but I think that he gets the best out of him. Actors like that and out of everybody that he films. So for all those reasons, Black Panther is an amazing movie. But I say overrated because I feel like some people would put it at S and would say it's perfect, and it's not. Not to me. None of them are,
Okay.
but it's not an S.
Um,
That's what I say.
I don't think it's an A either, but
What you gonna do?
it's but I'm not I don't think I'm a I, this is tough. So Black Panther is the same thing. You kind of mentioned Sinners too. Like it's
I
one of
did
those movies where I
indirectly. I did.
feel like, huh?
I said indirectly. I did.
Yeah,
But Fruitvale
indirectly.
Station, Sinners, and even Killmonger in here.
Well, I thought he did. I think he did great in as Killmonger. Obviously, I think Killmonger by far was the best thing in this movie. Um, and then of course I did like him in Sinners, but I think the movie itself was overrated. I don't think it should have been as high as up there. I don't
You
think
talking
it
about
should have been
Sinners? Or you talking about
best.
Black Panther?
Both of them. Both
All
of
right, but
them.
we're not talking
I
about
think
settings. We're talking
it's
about Black Panther.
they're both in a very similar situation. That's why I'm bringing it up. I think that it was it was overhyped because it was for the culture.
Okay.
It's a similar thing. I think that's what, in my opinion, hurts the Ryan Coogler movies is because it's so much for the culture that it people confuse favorites for how actually good the movie was. I don't think this was a really great movie. That was good, but I don't think it was great at all. So for it to be an A, to me, A is a great movie. I think it
Okay.
was. I
You
think it
gonna
was.
move it? You talking like you about to move it?
It's tough because I don't want to. It's tough because you know what? No, fuck it. I'm moving it to B. I'm just gonna move it to
My
B.
man is disinviting himself
I-
from the cookout.
I'm
Okay,
moving it to B because
man, give up the card.
I just think it was. I think it was
Jeez,
just overrated. You could
that
put it in front
overrated?
of. You could put it above Spider Man.
Okay,
I that's fine.
I get it. Yeah,
I like so for me the way I would think of it, S tier movies have to be in contendership for top 5, right? I think A movies contend for the bottom 5 to like the first couple of spots of 11, like 11 and 12.
okay,
And then B is like from like 13 to 20 type.
okay.
That's where I have Black Panther ranked in my movies in
Hmm.
that range. So I have to move it to B. I just I think
You were compelled to move it to B.
yeah, I have to. It was
Wow.
for
Okay.
I have to do it for the culture. We got to be real.
Hey,
We got to be real.
you.
Uh, like it was not that like I think Killmonger was amazing. Don't get me wrong. And I do like
I thought Claw was fun
T'Challa.
too. I didn't like that they killed him.
Claw well, yeah, that's another thing. Claw was good in that movie. He was good in Ultron. The fact that they killed him was crazy,
Yeah, I don't
but
like when they do that.
that was too the best parts of Black Panther wasn't Black Panther. It was Killmonger and Claw. So that hurts the movie. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Shout out to the culture, but hey, it's a B. It's okay. Your turn.
All right, I go again. Woo. Okay. All right. Let's go with another one. These movies. So I feel like this movie was a victim of its own nostalgia. I thought that it was the best movie of its series, but I feel like it it overpromised and underdelivered on what it was. Great
But
moments.
I'll get up
Um,
that.
I mean, got some of the biggest reactions I remember in the theater. But at the end of the day, I feel like they plugged in people who they could get, and not necessarily the ones that might have actually had more of an impact on the stories. Um, it's a solid movie, but I can't put it in the top tier. I just can't. Um, because it was kind of convoluted and stuff like that in terms of what the problem was. The problem in that movie was the secondary character, not necessarily the title character. Um, and that doesn't get resolved until that character's second movie, you know. But anyway, at the A tier, I have Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay, well
Spider-Man: No Way
you
Home
can
at the A
oh
tier.
my god.
Like I said, it had a huge box office, definitely did.
Oh,
But I think when we look at who they selected for the villains, two of them shouldn't have even been in there, like for real. And both of them were from Andrew Garfield's run. Maybe even you could say three of them, because Sandman being in there. I mean, they could have picked different villains, I think. But great. Talk about great villains. The Foles Green Goblin, amazing. Um, seeing all three of the Peters pause on screen was very cool. Ned having superpowers out of nowhere or magic powers, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I really don't. But hey, MIT must be that hell of a school to go through all these problems to get in there. So yeah, I'm gonna put No Way Home at A.
I don't know.
I think
I
it's
don't
I think
even.
it's the best Spider Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if it's the best performance of Tom Holland though. I mean, he had a lot of like sad moments here, big moments, but overall, I think he was. I think like Civil War might have been his best performance, followed by this, followed by um Homecoming, and then Far From Home, in terms of his performance. But yeah, I got No Way Home at A. So far the best Spider-Man movie that they've made, but since it's so reliant on the Spider-Men, you know, it's not like the best Spider-Man movie necessarily. Hopefully that's what the next one is. Brand New Day. But I got Spider-Man No Way Home at A.
Well, I don't know. Okay. Uh,
Got him. I mean, I made my
uh,
case.
you made a case, I guess,
I
if you
made a
want to
case
call
for
it
why I
that.
got it at A.
Um, I mean, you already know what to do, so just do it.
Well, no,
Um,
you got to say it.
no, no. You can just
You're contractually obligated to say
like
we
that is
agreed
the
before we got on here. You got to
okay.
say it.
Okay, so will you please kindly move No Way Home to S tier, please?
Oh
Because
boy,
I don't know what the fuck you thinking.
back to back, back to
Okay,
back turns here. Tell us why though.
you can put it ahead of Daredevil. I haven't decided where between Winter Soldier and that, but it's definitely ahead of Daredevil. Okay, so what was these stupid points you said? So something
No, no,
about
no. You gotta do the.
they
At least you gotta listen.
no, no, I know the points. I'm just so you said talked about the villains. They
Yeah,
could have picked different
like two or
villains.
three of them
How
are
could they
kind of.
have? They were the whole point was villains
Give me Venom.
from the past.
Give me Venom. Give me Harry.
That was the worst Venom.
Was it
That Venom.
the one that prayed in church for his enemy's downfall? I'll take that Venom. Hell yeah.
That Venom was worse than the Venom 1, 2, and 3.
I think
What's
the
his name?
only case you have is Venom 1. 2 and 3 are garbage.
They were garbage, but they were better than Spider-Man 3
I
Venom.
don't know,
So what are
man.
you talking about?
Topher
No,
Grace praying in
stop
that
it. That
church.
no, no. That was they had no. Those are the villains they had to choose.
Give me
There was no other
Harry.
villain.
Give me Harry.
No, you don't need Harry. You already had a Goblin.
What's a goon to a goblin? Give me two goblins.
We're gonna get another Goblin. That's why we got Hobgoblin with Ned's doing the thing,
Maybe,
man.
maybe.
Like I think we get Hobgoblin in
I just
not
feel
Brand
I
New
just feel
Day,
like
but
I just feel like the nostalgia overshadows or outshines what the movie really was. It was a very weak and
that
flimsy
was
reasoning.
no because that's the
I want
thing.
to
The
get into
nostalgia thing.
MIT, so
The
he goes to
nostalgia.
Doctor Strange for
No,
the
no, no, no.
hell.
So look, No Way Home, the nostalgia was a part of building the story. Like you needed that because Tom Holland is like you said, Holland, well, Peter Parker up to this point has always relied on Iron Man, right?
Yeah,
Basically. This was his way of kind of going away from that and building and starting to build his own story.
by going to another Avenger with a goatee
No, no, he went to him for a simple
for
solution.
some
It
dumb
just got,
shit.
but it's not like he was guided by Doctor Strange. He just used Doctor Strange, but
I
he
don't even
wasn't
know why
guided.
Doctor Strange did that. That was dumb.
Okay, besides the reason, okay,
I, you
it
know,
doesn't. Well, actually, no, no, it did make sense because everyone knew who he was. But he
eh,
was trying to protect his family. He
I
was trying to
feel,
protect his friends, and he
I
was
feel
and
like
him doing what he did, him being Spider-Man affected his family and friends. They couldn't do. They were
not.
not making it to school. They were not making their dreams. So he took the
All
sacrifice.
right, so look, hold
G-
on. He took the
Go
sacrifice for the.
ahead.
Instead of them going to MIT, what they go to fucking Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
No one, no, because they said that no one was even looking at him
hold
because
on,
of this.
hold on. I, do you agree with this? I'm not saying I could do better, but do you agree that they missed an opportunity for Doctor Strange to be compelled to help Peter do this because of maybe guilt that he felt over Tony, who was Peter's mentor, sacrificing himself, like because basically he was the one that held up the one and told him this is the only way we could do it out of 14 million, whatever. Do you think they missed an opportunity for building that reason in? Because it really felt like Doctor Strange was like, fuck it.
No,
It really felt like the protector of this realm from from all dimensional threats. It really felt like he did one of the most dangerous spells on some college
no,
acceptance letter
hold on,
bullshit.
no, no, because he said it was a simple spell. It was Peter that screwed it up. He
Still,
said it was a simple spell. It
it.
was Peter who kept adding stuff to it while he was doing his incantation,
So
or
I'll say this:
whatever you call it.
any spell that somebody can fuck up with a sentence
Hmm.
that could put the entire multiverse at risk, I feel like that ain't a simple spell. And I think that
Nah,
Wong's reaction to that whole shit.
even Wong said it was cool.
What? No,
He's
he
the
didn't.
supreme leader.
Wong did not say it was cool. Wong was basically telling him, "Don't do that shit. You're fucking crazy." What are you
He
talking about?
said he said
Wong's
no.
reaction was the only rational reaction to that whole shit. That was dumb.
Well, you know what? At
Like,
the
like,
end of the day,
like if
we
they would
got
have.
it.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, that's what we got. Okay, he did the spell.
Okay,
Whether you want to say it was a dumb reason or not, okay, I
it was.
disagree totally, but I get where you're coming from. Forget that. Let's move on. The spell happened. Okay, he used we used both Peters from the past to, in a way, help this Peter honestly kind of like realize his Spider-Man destiny, because he wasn't really following that his whole in the first two movies, because he and at least in the Spider-Man I know, he never had Iron Man as his mentor. He never really even had a mentor before, like
Uh,
that I remember.
he has,
But
and in Civil War in the comic books, Tony was a mentor. Tony was the one that hooked him up with the Iron Spider suit.
well, I'm talking about not in I didn't read the comics, but more
I did.
like in previous shows and stuff. It's like he's never really had a mentor. Like in all the movies, he didn't have a mentor.
Doc Connors was a mentor of
Eh,
his.
I
Doctor
guess.
Octopus was a mentor of his in Spider Man Two. Like he has,
Eh,
but to the
eh.
extent that they leaned on as hard
But
as they
Iron,
did,
yeah,
yeah, no.
he looked up to them as far as they were his favorite scientists and stuff like that. But it wasn't to the extent of what Iron Man was, it's what Tony was. So this was kind of this whole way to build him up, that's going to finally lead to what we all want in Brand New Day. I mean, the nostalgia feelings. No movie in the MCU besides maybe Endgame gave us the feeling that No Way Home did. That I can think of right now. I don't think there's any movie
Uh,
that
X
gave us
Men
that feeling.
'97 and Deadpool Wolverine are in the conversation.
That I'm talking about at that point. Deadpool came out after. X Men
Oh, okay.
'97
Up
came
until that
after.
point, then right. No, only Endgame. Well, Endgame is
Endgame
that
was the
on
only
crack.
one.
Yeah, Endgame was the ultimate example of that.
Right. And then I think you can argue they upped it by bringing those two Spider-Man in, especially when they brought the first Spider-Man in. Like that moment
All right, look.
changed the world.
All right,
So
you're telling
I'm just gonna
me.
say, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you moved it up to S.
Yes,
You're refuting my points. You're trying to,
I already did.
but I feel like you're doing that more than you're making a point for why it belongs in S.
Because your points of why it should be an A are wrong. So if
Okay,
they're
that's
wrong, then
opinion,
it
bro.
was
All
a
right.
beautiful movie. It was everything you
A
want in
doesn't
a
mean it's
Spider-Man
not
movie.
beautiful. What do you mean?
Everybody, everybody
A is a
in that
great movie.
A was great, but it wasn't S. It's not A is still lower than S, and this was an S movie.
Okay.
It's not even close. The moments, all the moments, all the great moments,
Technically,
the
S and A
performances by
technically S and A are very close because they're right next to each other. But okay,
performances wise, this was everybody had a great performance. Even Happy had a great performance in the movie. Um, let's see,
like his
all the
apartment.
feelings. I already mentioned the feelings you got. All the callbacks, the whole with MJ almost falling and everything, and Andrew had to save her and everything. That moment, like, come on, the moments was killer. Fight scenes were good. Like, nah, S tier. Go ahead, your turn. I'm done.
All right. Moving on.
Don't
Let's
ever
go
disrespect
to
Spider-Man No Way Home again.
let's go to another
I
one.
mean, Far From Home or No Way Home. Yeah,
All
No
right,
Way Home.
let's
Sorry.
go. Let's go to a softball one. All right. So this particular one, it's the debut of this franchise into the MCU. It took a
Okay.
couple tries. Fourth time's the charm. Four would be the operative number, and
Okay.
I thought it was solid. Not great, but really good. Promising. I'm talking of course about Fantastic Four First Steps.
Okay.
I have Fantastic Four First Steps at B. I would put
Okay.
it ahead of Far From Home. Um, Good cast. I'm not 100% sold on Thing in terms of his voice. I feel it should be a little more gruff. I love that actor. He's great in The Bear, and I feel like he's great as the Thing. But it's just his voice, no pun intended, should be more gravelly than it is. It just should be a little bit rougher. I loved Johnny Storm in this one was my favorite character. I love what they did with Human Torch. I didn't know what to expect with how they were gonna handle him. Uh, for One Piece fans out there, he can be very Sanji ish. But they did a good balance here. I liked his chemistry with everyone, including with Silver Surfer in this film.
Okay.
Galactus looked cool, although he kind of looked weak. I'm not gonna lie. But they introduced this concept of Franklin, even as a child, him being this multiversal reality warping anomaly, as he
Mhm.
should be portrayed, because Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful characters in the entire MCU period. I thought that Reed Richards was alright. I'm hoping he takes more of a leadership role in Doomsday. Like more of a forefront type of thing. Invisible Woman was great too. She was really the heart of the narrative of the story for this, and that was fine. Her being the mom of the group and of Franklin, and she is a very powerful hero, but maybe they've showed her to be a little bit too powerful. I don't know against Galactus. I know she can block Celestial Blast in the comics, but I mean, Galactus. I don't know. It was alright. The world building was cool. I I don't think we're ever gonna be back there because, for all intents and purposes, it looks like they're exiting from their universe to ours, or to the 616 MCU uh in Doomsday. But I thought it was a solid movie. It was cool, but it's not like super great. I would watch it again, but I won't go out of my way to watch it. B.
I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. That was a good movie. So, um, yeah, I'm cool with that one. I'm gonna let you have that. So
Okay.
for my turn, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna actually pick the first one to go in C tier.
Okay.
And I don't think we talked about this character yet. But this is an introduction movie. This is their debut. I thought the movie was fine. It wasn't nothing special, but it was just a fine movie. Um, I'm just gonna go with Thor one. Thor one was a C. It's just I guess C for average. I think that's what
If
basically.
C is average to you, that's fine.
I think that's just I thought Thor was fine in the movie. I like Darcy, and Jane was okay.
Love Darcy. Love Darcy.
Darcy, she's awesome.
Glad she got
But
shine in WandaVision.
yes, uh, Yes, thank you. Well, wait, I don't know you're agreeing with me or not with the comment, but yeah, it was a good movie. It was just it's just there. Could I watch it again? Yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I don't think I'll go out of my way to watch it again.
Wait,
So
somebody wrote in the chat.
I got a text message.
Oh, I wish they put it in the chat instead, but okay.
I wish they put it in the chat too. They texted, but yeah, C for me.
Okay. Um, I'm not gonna waste the turn. I did have Thor one at the B level. I thought that Loki was great. I thought that Loki was a like that introduction, the casting, and all that was top of the line for me. And I think that his performance alone was worthy of a B. A B. Uh, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, I thought he did a good job with it. Thor in the comics, the font he speaks in is ye old. You know what I mean? Like even the font he speaks in the comics, it has this sort of old English, to it. And I thought that he captured that really well. The humor was good. Um, but ultimately, I didn't think that it was like great or perfect, but I thought it was a good start. I thought it was a good start.
We got
But
a chat.
The world building in Thor, I thought wasn't as strong as some other. Oh, that's Al agreeing that it's a B. That's where I had it,
Yeah,
Al. But I'm not gonna waste the turn to move it from C to B. I think if I'm gonna go to bat for something or fight for something, Thor, you put in that C, okay. Um, that being said, this is not even. I think we'll agree this is not the best Thor movie. This is not the best Thor movie, but it was a solid start. I thought C is fine. I'm not gonna fight you on that. All right, moving on. Let me see here.
and yeah, Loki was great while he's choosing. Yeah, Loki was great. I do agree with you, chat. Uh, but I just don't think it was enough to push it up to a B. I think B are movies that I would watch again. Like I would personally turn it on to watch again. I wouldn't watch. I wouldn't choose to watch Thor, but if it was on, I would watch it.
All right. Okay, so we got Thor at C tier. That's where you put it. All right. I'm keeping track of where you put things and stuff, just so I could
I mean, for the most part, this has been my board. So
know. Okay.
you think about it, I've been moving stuff. So
You've been choosing to move. Yeah, you've been
yeah,
choosing that. And hey, that's how you want to use your turns. God bless. All right, moving on. Let's see. We don't have an A tier yet. And I already mentioned this, so why not? First MCU project on Disney Plus. It came during quarantine, during COVID, but I thought this was a great example of having some fun, taking some risks, and telling a really good character development story. WandaVision made sense as a series. Could it have been a
yeah,
movie? Yes. But it could have. They could have told a movie like they could have told a 2 hour movie maybe.
okay.
But I think it was a good decision to make it a series. The meta references to other television stuff. I mean, this all is pulled from the comic books when Wanda is, kind of seeing the world in these different genres of narrative because she's losing her fucking mind. I
Mhm,
loved everybody's performance in this. Agatha as the final villain, because Agatha kind of was the final villain. I thought that was a
mhm,
little bit weak. Everybody was hoping for Mephisto. Everybody was hoping for something more sinister, more powerful, more ominous. At the end of the day, it kind of wasn't that. Yeah, we got Book of Chthon and all that, but that doesn't really pay off until Multiverse of Madness, and even that is debatable. But anyway, I really, really wish that things following WandaVision built on top of WandaVision. We'll talk about some of those projects later, but they didn't necessarily use WandaVision as a reference, and I don't know why. Because I thought Elizabeth Olsen as this character, would she have been my first pick to do a series on from all the characters they had at that point? No, but I think what they did with the character was great. With her, with Vision, I thought it was great, and I think it's a solid. It was an A. It was an enjoyable week to week discussion and guessing what was going to come up. It was nice to have a series like that that's not just all dumped at one time. This one worked as a week to week. What do you think in theory breakdown type of show because of all the little Easter eggs and all the little touches that they put. A lot of care went into the making of the show, and I thought that it was fun. It was a fun, story, and it was one of those unfortunately too rare, not too rare, but very rare uh moments where Marvel and an MCU, roll dice and it pays
Mhm.
off. It didn't feel safe. This show did not feel safe, but it was good. It was very good.
All right. Yeah, I'm fine with WandaVision at A. That's where I had it. So, for pretty much everything you said, they took a chance and they took the swing, got a home run with it. So, uh, definitely enjoyed that.
Cool.
I'm gonna pick. So I'm gonna go with another swing. They took a chance with this. At least I think it was a chance. I think that they basically called this a chance. They swung and they got a home run out of it. It is a movie,
Okay.
um, and this was a movie based on characters that I don't think most people didn't know. But now I feel like everyone does. So for A tier, I'm gonna go with Guardians One.
Okay.
Uh,
We're at
I
where we're at. Let me see. Oh, Guardians one.
Yeah, Guardians One I think is a really great movie. The the casting was obviously really great. Um, and surprising. 'Cause, Dave Batista. I'm a wrestling fan, so having Batista as Drax did not think. I didn't know Drax's character, but
He knocked it out of the
what
park.
a yeah. From what I understand, he knocked it out of the park, and from what I see, he knocked it out of the park. So, I love that. Rocket, obviously, even Star Lord's dumbass was great. Like, yeah, I just the whole family unit, obviously, with Groot as well. Groot became this legendary character when you really think about it, as far as just people and families and kids loving him. Yeah, I just thought everything was the soundtrack beautiful. Like, it just everything about that movie was good. Maybe not the villain wasn't like the villain could have been better, maybe, or maybe they added some elements more to build him up a little bit more. But what was it, Ronan? But other than that, though, like, it was almost S tier. Like, it kind of, part of me wants to put it in S tier in a way, but I
Why
don't think
don't you?
it reached that point. No, no, I'm not. But I would say A for sure. I'm good with A. It was a really good movie. It's a really, to me, is a top 10 project for sure.
You put it ahead of WandaVision or behind?
That's tough. I think I would put it ahead of WandaVision. Yeah, I would. I would put it ahead of WandaVision. WandaVision was great too. It's really, it's one of those you'll be nitpicking, but I'm gonna give it the edge. Guardians with the edge.
Um, had you not put it ahead of WandaVision, I might have used my turn to move it to S tier. And the reason I would have done that is because if I'm praising WandaVision for it being an example of Feige and the creatives and the MCU rolling the dice, taking a risk, and it paying off, I
Uh
think
huh.
that there is no better example of that in a single
And
project
Guardians.
than Guardians.
Yeah.
Um, Guardians had a lot to do. It had to introduce you to an entirely new team of, as you mentioned, obscure characters, even obscure to the most hardcore of Marvel comic book fans. Okay, it had to intro this team. It had to make you like them, and it had to also do the heavy lifting when it came to introducing the Marvel cosmic universe on the screen. And it did a good job of that, representing that. Not like a great job of it, but solid.
Mhm.
Guardians is where you felt that Thanos was an actual threat for the first time. Um, and Ronan, as you said, he wasn't. a bad villain. He wasn't great. He was kind of middle of the line. And again, he's another example of an enemy that they kill. So it's like, but the character and world building that they did, I thought was amazing. And James Gunn, this was his first, like stamp on the MCU. I thought he had a very important impact on the MCU. Um, and I thought it was a great example of like an ensemble movie. Uh, you get real solid characterization from all the main group members, and you love them all. And I would put it at S. But I also realized that the Guardians, because the Guardians of the Galaxy series leans very heavily narratively on music, and how music ties together these characters with people in the past and who they lost. I understand that in my own bias, I do the same thing. Um, I love the Guardian series. I think, and it'll be representative on how I put them on the board. I think the Guardian series is the best trilogy that the MCU has in terms of one, two, and three of it just being about the Guardians or about one group or one. Yeah, I think it's the best one so far.
So you putting that S or what?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Okay.
content with putting it at the very top of A tier because of the reasons that I mentioned. We'll see where other
Okay.
things land, but yeah, Guardians
All right.
was
Was
Guardians was great. All right,
your
so
turn.
my turn. Let's see. Let's put another into this tier. All right. Let's go a little down the line. And the irony of it being green is not purpose. It's not. I wasn't. I'm gonna put She-Hulk at the D tier. If I talked about WandaVision as a great example of the MCU using resources and doing a series and all that stuff, I thought that She-Hulk was a missed opportunity. I like the casting of Tatiana Maslany. She's a great actress. Um, and I think that the show basically took too long to get there. To get to the show took too long to get to its narrative style that it should have started with. Meaning, it wasn't until the whole Daredevil, not that it was Daredevil, but it's because the type of shenanigans that She-Hulk would get into, it didn't get like kind of good until then, and it didn't get really meta until the whole fucking Kevin robot, Feige robot bullshit. She-Hulk is a very fourth wall breaking character, like Deadpool. You can even argue maybe more than Deadpool. And they didn't really get to that to catch my interest until it was like too late, to like the tail end. The whole anti-bro narrative and the villain thing was lame as fuck. Like I thought if you're gonna do that, I think there's other shows that do it better, more clever, than She-Hulk did. I don't have a problem with the twerking thing. The only problem is that up until that point, the highlight of the show was that She-Hulk was twerking with Meg. And if that's the highlight of your series, instead of something that is gonna make you like the character and not feel like, oh, it's just a cameo, cash in type of thing, then I mean, that's how I felt about She-Hulk. I felt like she was underutilized, and had they started with her breaking fourth walls from jump, I think it would have been a lot stronger. I liked the scenes early on with her and her cousin Hulk, Bruce. Like him kind of schooling her, what is it like to be a Hulk now? But even he was underutilized, and Scar. Let's not even talk about that appearance at the end of the series. That was weird. He looked weird. His hairline looked weird. That whole shit was weird. The other supporting cast around her, like the other lawyers that work in her firm or whatever. I mean, I the only one of them that I really remember was the guy who took every and all opportunity to, you know, hard counter that whole bro energy that the show seemed to be against. But you I think they could have done way more with that. It didn't get like good till the last couple episodes. And again, had it started there, I think it would have been a stronger series. And because of the poor reception. I don't know if we're ever going to see Tatiana Maslany again as Jennifer Walters, She Hulk. I would like to, if it was something better written and better done. But She Hulk as a series wasn't that great, so I got it at D because it had moments. But
Yeah, it should be an F, but I'll leave it alone.
yeah, okay.
It's not worth changing. But I will go with. I don't know if you agree with this, but I really did like this movie. Um, it's a little. It's probably a little. Well, no, no. It's definitely. It came out way too late, but even still, I thought it was still a good movie. So for B tier, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put Black Widow at B.
Okay.
Um, I just thought I thought the movie was great. I thought um both Black Widow and was it is it White Widow? What's the
Elena.
actual? I know Elena, but I'm saying
It's
is it
like White
White
Widow.
Widow? What's her
White
first? Yeah,
Widow.
White Widow.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought their whole dynamic together was awesome. Elena obviously was great. I would give her even the edge in this movie too. But um, I mean, you pretty much this was like the beginning of like the Thunderbolts. Like all the characters from Thunderbolts pretty much was in this movie. It's I thought it was a very fun movie. I wish it didn't come out when it did. I wish it would have came out sooner. It would have really gave Black Widow like the movie she deserved because she has done a great job as being like a secondary character in every movie she's been in. As we said before in Winter Soldier. So it'd been great to see this, but yeah, I just thought it was a great. This is the only thing I don't remember. Was Hawkeye before or after this?
The series?
Yeah, it
Oh.
was after, right?
I can look that up. Give me a second.
Because or is this the first time we got? I can't remember if this is the first time we got Elena or not. But even still,
Oh,
if you,
yeah, no, this came out before because we wouldn't know who Yelena was. Yeah, this came out first.
okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, this
To
came
answer
out
your question,
first.
this
So
came out first.
I mean, okay, like there was a lot of. I think it had a lot of humor. I thought the action was good.
Mhm.
Um, I know there was, there was the ending with Taskmaster wasn't great.
No,
they did a very bad job with
I
Taskmaster.
still
But
want Tony Masters
other
from the
than that,
BX.
huh?
Tony Masters. That's the
Oh,
that's Taskmaster's character's name in the comics, and he's from the
oh,
Bronx.
got you, got you. Besides that, I just thought everything about this movie was good. So the cast was good. It was funny. The action was good. Like just everything. It was everything you would want from Widow.
Yeah.
And definitely Elena. So yeah, it's a B tier for me. It was close to being A, but it's a B tier for
All
me.
right. Well, I'm not gonna fight you. I had it at C tier. The reason I had it at
Okay.
C and not B was for every single reason you said, which is why I had it at B. But what knocked it down to C was because to me this was too long in the oven. I think in terms of impact, yeah, we got Yelena. Yeah, we got a Taskmaster that dies early in Thunderbolt. Spoiler. And we got Red Guardian, who is like comic relief king right now. Yes, we got
Yes.
them, but the most important impact on that occurred, uh, unfortunately, because of the timing of the release of this movie, was more so Natasha hitting the floor for the Soul Stone than what the movie had.
Right.
So had this come out earlier, I think it would definitely was deserved. I mean, everybody else got a movie. Why the fuck Black Widow didn't get one? Or Hawkeye got a series, but if you're not gonna give a series,
Yeah.
she was dead though. So I think had this come out earlier, it would have rated higher for me, and I would have kept it at B myself. Um, but I love Yelena.
So
Yelena's great.
your reason for keep putting it to C would be the reason why it's not an A for me.
Right, but for me, I started at B. and
No,
knocked it
no,
to
that's what I'm
C.
saying.
You probably had it at A and knocked it down to
I
B.
had an A
Right.
and knocked it down to B.
Yeah,
Is what
because
I'm
I,
saying.
I
Yeah,
love Yelena too, but thankfully we have another portrayal, two other portrayals of her that endear me to her. So it's like I got that. Um,
yeah,
but that's fine. I'm not gonna fight you on that. You got it at B. You got it at B. That's fine. All right, let's. It's almost an hour and a half in. Take a quick break. I'm gonna
yep,
run to the bathroom. If you want
okay,
to yap, yap. I wish you had
yeah, yeah.
control
Let
of
me
this.
talk.
Wish you had control of this because you could have just gone ahead and
I
rank
mean, you
another
could just
one.
skip you could
No,
skip your turn.
no. It
You
is
could
my
skip your
turn. That's
turn.
why I'm gonna go on your turn.
I,
I'm going on my turn. So you entertain him for a minute. I'll be right back.
all right, well, I can entertain the people. So I don't know what he's been thinking. Honestly, I've been changing a lot of his thoughts and opinions. I changed his Spider-Man No Way Home. I changed the Black Panther. It was something else I changed. I can't remember. Oh, I changed something to F tier. But uh, look, just going back to No Way Home. No Way Home to me is damn near perfect. I really I know I know that people always say that it might rely too much on the nostalgia thing, but I think that's what makes it beautiful. That's what I think what makes it perfect. Like sometimes you need that. There's nothing wrong with nostalgia as if it's used correctly. And I think it was used perfectly, especially after Aunt May died and we got the whole, with great power comes great responsibility speech. We needed something to connect it. And that's what both Peters did, you know, just that whole rooftop scene where they found him it was just awesome. I mean, if you didn't tear up after that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Uh, that definitely got me. I know
Listen, I
to
never
this day,
said that
to
nostalgia was
this
bad.
day.
All I said was that the nostalgia outshined the whole reason for them having to be there in the first place, which was Doctor Strange acting fucking
I'm just
reckless.
saying.
If that was year
I'm
one
just
Doctor
saying.
Strange, I understand. But this is Doctor Strange post Tony dying, post Endgame. You a veteran in this game. Why the fuck you
Hey,
playing around with the
I'm
multiverse like
just
that? Anyway, we're
anyway.
past
Go
that.
ahead.
My
Your
turn.
turn.
We're past it. My turn.
Your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna
Go.
go to a recent one. I'm gonna go to recent for me because this is the one project that I hadn't watched until we decided a couple of weeks ago to do this.
Okay.
And I don't know why I never went to watch it. I heard only good things, but I just never watched it. And I watched it, and and I was like, this is pretty good, but pretty good for me keeps it from being like great. And the only reason I say is because this is something where we're yet to see any impact at all. But it was a risk. It did use obscure characters in the Marvel universe as well.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna go Werewolf by Night. I got that as a B. I got it
Oh
as a
wow.
B.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the fact that Elsa Bloodstone was in here, Man Thing, Werewolf by Night, a lot of references to like Midnight Suns type of characters. I thought was very cool. It being shot in black and white, I thought was cool. Gave it that kind of horror nostalgic type of movie vibe. It was short. We're not talking about a very deep narrative here, but I thought it was a fun little project that the MCU did, that Disney Plus did, and I thought it was solid. So I got it a B. You know, I'd rate it higher for the same reasons that I praise things like WandaVision and Guardians of the Galaxy, but I feel like we've seen the impact of those series, and Werewolf by Night is kind of like this thing on the side that they haven't done anything else with for it's been more than 3 years. So
Yep.
if they would have told me, hey, we're doing the Midnight Suns and Werewolf by Night is gonna be in there, Man Thing and Elsa Bloodstone from this series, if they would have announced something like that, awesome. Then I would feel like this you know, tied into things more. But it feels like this side project that was fun. That's why I have it a B. But it hasn't really led to anything, or nothing has referenced it, so it's very isolated. That's why I have it a B.
All right. My turn. I'm
Oh,
gonna
you got nothing to
go.
say about it?
No, I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah, I thought you were gonna put that C, but other than that, I mean,
It's a B.
um,
It's a B.
Other than that, it was good. So I'm fine with a B. A B or a C would have been fine. I'm gonna go with a A tier movie.
Okay.
I mean, let's just go with the one that started it all. Iron Man one. To me, is an A movie. I really liked Iron Man. It really. I mean, it's. I really don't know what else really to say. Really, it was just. It was the whole idea of his beginning stages of him just building his Iron Man suit. Well, not his Iron, official one, but whatever, from nothing.
In a cave
That whole
with a box of
in a
scraps.
cave,
Yeah.
back of scraps, and all that. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought that whole idea was pretty cool. And it really, and then obviously him as Tony Stark. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. just killed it. I mean, that's really all I could say. It was just a really good movie from beginning to end. It kept you watching. Very entertaining. He was awesome. The concept was awesome, and it really just. I mean, we don't have the MCU without that movie. With how good that movie is. So, um, yeah, it's a A. That's it.
Yeah, I have Iron Man at an A as well. So not gonna fight you. It is technically not the start. Hulk is, but it's fine. Um, for all intents and purposes, it is. Iron Man. I say Iron Man because that's the last time we saw Rhodey played by anybody besides
Don Cheadle.
Don
Yeah.
Cheadle. Terrence Howard plays him. But yeah, I got it as an A. For all intents and purposes, the buzz that came out of Hall H in San Diego Comic Con on the internet from people who saw that trailer, the teaser for Iron Man 1. And when they were talking about how, a bullet reflected off Iron Man and killed the terrorist, and this was like very early internet leaks type shit, a long time ago. That well, everybody was just like clamoring for some type of even grainy footage of that. They were like, "What?" And then when we finally saw it in the theater, it was like, "Oh shit!" It was really cool when he escapes from his captors, and then gets those words of wisdom from his friend that helped him before he got away. Yeah, Tony Stark, perfectly cast. When I heard that it was gonna be Robert Downey Jr., first thing I said was, "Well, he is Tony Stark. Like he's the Hollywood version of Tony Stark. The only thing he lacks is 12 PhDs, but he is pretty much attitude wise, visually, everything. It's one of those roles in MCU where you kind of wonder, was this guy born to play that role? And knocked it out of the park. Very solid start. This started off the tradition of killing off your bad guys because not even the Hulk movie that came before this killed off Abomination. They didn't even kill off Leader. We just had to wait 20 years for Leader to show up again. But this one killed Obadiah Stane. Um, but everything else was good. Pepper Potts great. Happy, great. Uh, yeah, Iron Man 1, solid A, solid start to the Avengers Initiative plot line that was pretty much the thread that led all the way up to Endgame. So yeah,
Yep.
I won't fight you on that. I had it at the same spot. Okay, let's go to B tier. Um, we ranked first steps, right? I had it at B. Did you argue that? Like, did you feel the
No,
same? You felt it was. I mean, I know you didn't move it, but you had it at a B
no,
as
it's
well,
fine.
or C, or what?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
no, it was a B.
I'm just keeping track. I'm just keeping track. All right, so I'm gonna stay in the B tier, and I'm gonna put another series on here. Very solid series. Better front end to the series than the latter half because there was a great villain in season one. Um, Thankfully they're bringing this character back. Uh, Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, really good. I really enjoyed this series. She, for all intents and purposes, she's like the Hitch of the Marvel universe. She's that hero that is flawed, doesn't really want to be one, but is really great at being one when she wants to be.
Yep.
I got Jessica Jones at B, high B. Like I said, first half, first season, Purple Man, great villain. That actor, I don't know why his name is eluding me. He played Doctor Who. He was in the Harry Potter series. It's hurting me that I'm forgetting his name. But anyway, great actor. He was a great Purple Man. Purple Man is one of the best villains they had, but he's another villain that they killed off eventually. So
Yeah,
Jessica Jones, I got it a solid B.
I'm fine with that as well. I would have been fine with A or B with her. Um, I like Jessica Jones. Her character,
Yeah, me too.
it's been awesome. Kristen Ritter plays amazing, so I'm cool with that. Um, all right, so we're gonna go with my turn,
Yep.
and
One of your rare turns.
ooh, let's see, what am I gonna go with here? So I'm okay. I think I'm gonna go with another B tier here
Okay.
as well. I'm
Okay.
gonna stick with the show. Since you went show, I'll go with a show.
Okay.
I've uh I'm gonna go with Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye's a B. I was a big fan of the Hawkeye show. We mentioned earlier Elena did a great job in that show. But then, so did Hawkeye. Um,
Hmm.
so did Kate Bishop. I mean, I just thought that they both,
Jeremy
all
Renner,
three
right?
of
That's
them did a
the actor that plays Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, yes. I just thought all three of them did a fantastic job, but obviously it was carried by the two female. But um, I just thought it was really good show. Comedy was good. That scene alone with her and Elena and the mac and cheese, and eating only with a fork or a spoon. Wait, was this a spoon? No, I think it was a fork. She had one fork. Um, like that whole
The hot
thing was
sauce. The
cool,
hot sauce.
and the hot sauce. Like I just that whole thing was that whole scene was awesome. The whole elevator scene as well, just to bring back elevators. The MCU does great jobs with elevators, apparently. Um,
Always in elevators.
you know, there's always elevators. So yeah, I really love that show. I think it's underrated. I think a lot of people probably would put it a C. But I just for me is a favorite of mine. I put it in B. So
Just for clarity, where would you put it in the B ranks? Like, would you put it ahead of anything, or where would you put it?
um hmm. I would put it above Werewolf. I would put it you know what? I would put it ahead of Black Widow as well.
Okay, but that's it.
I I think that's probably
Okay.
yeah, I think that's probably where I would put it.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. So I also had Hawkeye at a B. Um. I thought it was also very good. Kate Bishop, Yelena, Jeremy Renner, hell, even Kingpin. Uh, Even his brief appearances, I thought was cool. It was solid. I thought it did have some parts that dragged a little bit. If I'm being 100% frank with you, I think Hawkeye could have been a movie. I think it could have just been a 2 hour movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it had to be the 6 or 8 part, whatever the fuck it was, series that it dragged a little bit. Um, but other than that, I wouldn't rank it any higher than a B, only because we haven't seen Kate Bishop again till the Marvels, and that was barely. That was in the post credit. I need to see
Yeah.
what they're gonna do with this character. I also kind of want to see where Hawkeye's gonna end up. Himself, Jeremy Renner. Where's his character gonna go? Is he gonna retire to the pasture, or is he gonna come? Like, what's gonna happen with him? So because I would love to see him and Bullseye go at it.
Mm.
I mean, hello, they're fated to kind of. And with Dark Avengers and the comics and stuff like that, because Bullseye takes up the mantle of Hawkeye. So I want to see where this goes. I wouldn't rate it any higher. If you would have put it a C, I wouldn't have forced you to put it up to B, but I had it at a B as well. A low B, but a B. All right.
Okay.
You know what? Let's stay in B tier. And this one, I'm not gonna lie, I thought a lot about this one, but when the casting is as good as it is, despite the shortcomings of the series, uh,
Okay.
I have to say this is probably a more hopeful uh placing than it is probably a more objective placing. But I have Miss Marvel at B as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I have it. It's probably out of these. It's the lowest B, and I'm gonna say why. First of
Okay.
all, like I said, the casting of 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 Miss Marvel and her family, I love them. Put
Yes.
a 24-hour cam in that kitchen table, in that dinner table, and I'm happy. Tell the stories of them. They're
Yes.
cool. Uh, I don't love what they did with her powers because for comic fans we know her origin was dramatically changed here and her power set dramatically changed. They made her a mutant. That's new. The only reason they're doing that is because Marvel's abandoning ship from all inhuman related activities. Thank God. In the comics and shit. But the special effects were terrible. The fight scenes were terrible. I'm sorry. They were like below early season CW superhero shits by far. Like in terms of special effects and the fight choreography, it was bad. There was some exhibitions of her powers that were creative and cool, but for the most part, the trouble that Marvel was having at the time with their VFX artists and things like that, I don't know if it was more apparent in any other project than in Miss Marvel. And if you're gonna make her powers so different that now she's more reliant on visual effects for her power set outside of her body because she's supposed to be like shape shifting. Now she's making heart
Hmm.
like constructs like a fucking Green Lantern character. If you're gonna do that, then hopefully it looks good, and it didn't. It just at no point did it look good. So that holds it back a lot for me.
Okay.
But she's a great character, very likable, very lovable. And the reason I say this is more hopeful is because I want them to do more projects with this character. It looks like they're teasing that they will, with her being essential to the putting together the what we were saying is the new Avengers. Um, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, but I have it as a B. It's solid. I don't know if I ever go back to it again, but if it was on and it's one of those moments where like she's shining and she's being adorable and what, then I'd watch it. But other than that, that's where I got it.
Yeah, I love Miss Marvel. So you having it at B is fine. I thought I would have to move it. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, you thought I was gonna rank
Um,
it lower?
yeah, I love Miss Marvel, so
I
I'm fine
surprised
with it at
myself. I'm
B.
not. I'm not gonna lie. It was at C for a long time, but I finally landed on B just off the strength of her performance.
I
Mostly.
got the only thing I would say like for me she's is probably like right under Hawkeye, but like other than that, I'm not gonna make a big deal about
Like
it.
you would put it ahead of Black Widow and Werewolf by now?
Yeah, I would. But
Nah, well,
it's still a B. I would take it as a B. Other than that, that's the only
I
difference.
mean,
But you know what? Since we talking about her, I think it's just best to go ahead and just jump to it.
Marvels.
This one, I think this one you're gonna change, but I'm gonna also go with the Marvels at B. And I'm gonna tell you why. Uh, I know the villain is trash. I know the villain. I don't even know who the fuck the villain is. I'll be honest with you. So I don't even remember.
It's
I just
Tom
know it was
Hiddleston's
some chick.
wife.
Oh, okay.
Tom Hiddleston's wife
Cool.
played the villain, but I don't remember her.
I don't even remember her name. So besides that,
I know she
um,
was a
this
Kree.
is the
I know she was a Kree.
this what I will say is that all three of the Marvels did an amazing job. I think this is Captain Marvel. I think this is the Captain Marvel that we wanted. Like if this Captain Marvel was the first movie, that Marvel Captain Marvel movie would have been amazing. Like, but we didn't get this. This is I don't know if it was more because the other two brought it out of her,
Hmm.
but I mean, this movie was definitely like their whole dynamic with that trio worked really well. It was really awesome, and I really did enjoy the movie. Besides the villain, like I said, was trash. But everything else I loved. Um even Samuel L. was good in this movie. Because is this the movie? Is this where they show him get cut? I forget where does he get his patch? Was it in this movie
No,
or was
that's
it?
no, that's in Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's the original Captain Marvel. Okay, that was the only thing I mixed up. But he's in this movie, right? Because this is his family. He saves their family, right?
He's in the
Was it this
movie.
one?
He's in the
He
movie.
isn't. He isn't. Okay, I didn't want to confuse his scene. Um, but either way, it didn't even matter. He's the back half. Who cares? The three of them were awesome together, and Miss Marvel was just continuously proving why they need to hurry up and bring the new Avengers to the screen, to the big screen, because her, I don't know if they're making her and Kate Bishop as the leaders of it. If they do, perfect. I'm fine with that because she's an actual Marvel fan. She loves everything about Marvel. So it just makes sense that
The
you put her at the
actress,
forefront.
the actress
Yes, the
that plays
actress.
Miss Marvel.
Iman V is what I call her. You know, she actually loves this whole universe,
Yeah,
so
she's a
to
Marvel
put her
fan.
in the forefront just makes it so much better. So I have this as a B. It's a low tier B, but it's a B nonetheless.
To be specific, before I give my 2 cents, you have it where in the B's?
It's I said it's at the end of the
Oh,
B.
at
It's
the
the
end of these.
low,
Okay.
the very low. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
It's the low end of
So
B.
I had this movie at a D.
Okay.
Um, Mainly because of two reasons. One of them we share. The villain was immemorable. Like I can't,
Okay.
like, the real villain to me uh was the fact that you had three very compelling protagonists,
Uh
but
huh.
strangely enough, I didn't feel like they had enough to do in their own movie. Like, first of all, the first Captain Marvel movie, because of where it came out, because it came out after, I think, Infinity War or some shit like that. It came
It
out in a weird
came
spot.
out. Yeah, it came out two movies after
It
Infinity War.
came out in a weird spot. And at the time, Kevin Feige was trying to sell the fact that, oh, well, Captain Marvel is going to be the strongest character in the MCU up until that point. He was saying that. So a lot of hype went into it, but the Captain Marvel movie itself didn't do so well. Yeah, it didn't do so well. So with that in mind, I was hoping that the Marvels would be more of a chance for, Brie Larson's character to have more of the spotlight on herself, because it was kind of split with Nick Fury in her own movie. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was hoping, but not only did they split it in this one, they split it in three. So she had to share space, time, and character development with Miss Marvel and with Spectrum. And, you know, I like the three of them for all the reasons you said, but I feel like the story should have centered more on just them three. But we did have that back half of some Nick Fury stuff and a very weak villain. Some backstory in a villain that ended up being falling flat. Nick Fury,
Uh,
us seeing what the fuck he's been up to in the space station, because that's where he was. Um, and did the Marvels come out after Secret Invasion
uh,
or before?
it came out. The Marvels came out. Hold on, phase. The Marvels came out in phase three, right? No, phase four. No, phase five. It came out in phase five. So Secret Invasion also came out in phase five.
Yeah, but when?
So I don't know. It's not telling me. The screen I'm looking at is not telling me. I'm sorry.
All right, so June 21st, 2023 was Secret Invasion. November. Okay, so
It's
I
Marvels.
was right.
Okay.
So the Marvels came out after Secret Invasion, and so it ended up sharing time to kind of rebuild Nick, even though it was done, way ahead. But narratively, it kind of seemed like a bounce back for Nick Fury too,
Hmm.
because in Secret Invasion he was made completely impotent and useless.
Yeah, it was trash in Secret Invasion,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
thought he was really good in the Marvels.
Me too. But my point is, they also split time. Captain Marvel's movie had to split time with two other characters who were also developing, and a little bit with Nick Fury. So again,
See,
I feel like
I don't
again, she if you're gonna put her at the forefront, if you want to put her at the forefront, to me, the way that they've gone about doing her two movies have just gotten worse in getting that done.
see. That's where I a little disagree because I don't. Well, I agree with what you're saying, except for the fact that I don't
I'll
think
put it like
that the
this. I'll put it like this.
Marvels.
I'll put it like this. Wait. Just let me say this part.
Okay,
Not that it was the same situation, but kind of. The first two Thor movies were not great. Two is arguably one of the worst. We're gonna get to it. But Ragnarok was a good example of it being a Thor movie with an ensemble, but overall, it still felt like a Thor movie. This movie,
right.
The Marvels, did not feel like a Captain Marvel movie.
Because then
It felt like a
that's where I
trilogy.
disagree.
But that's what I'm
So that's where
saying.
I'm just no, no, but listen, this is why I disagree with you because
Okay.
I don't think it was a Captain Marvel movie. It wasn't supposed to be a Captain Marvel movie.
That's I
That's
mean,
the
she's in the
thing.
middle. You know what I'm saying? She's in the middle of that bullshit.
Yeah,
And and
and
and,
on a,
and this is her
that's an
sec this
order.
is the second movie that she's prominently in. If this is not her second movie, then again, the fact that it's not her second movie and she has to share spotlight is feeding into my point. Like is
I don't think it was meant to be honest with you. I don't think this movie was meant for her to be in the forefront. I don't know who got more screen time, but I remember more scenes with Miss Marvel than I do with Captain Marvel.
That's my
So
point.
I But that's my thing. I don't think this was a Captain Marvel. Like I don't consider the Marvels Captain Marvel 2. I really don't. I understand
But it
why
was
you
kind of but my
should.
point, it was marketed as that. And I feel like because it wasn't, it
I don't
weakens
remember the
the
marketing.
impact of Captain
So
Marvel. That's what my point is. So I
yeah,
think
that's what I'm saying. I get your point.
I
I'm
would
just
have
saying to
preferred I
me,
would have preferred if this movie was marketed more like a Miss Marvel movie.
I thought it was marketed. I don't remember the marketing, but like the way I was
I'm
presented
telling you,
that
it
I
was marketed as
remember,
Captain Marvel 2. That's how it was marketed.
I I took this as it was all three of them. That's why it's called the Marvels. It was meant to bring all three of them to the line to the
Ultimately, a
shine.
bigger victim of this whole thing was probably Spectrum. I thought she was great. Um, she was good in WandaVision as well. Maybe she should have got more
Yeah.
shine there too. But
See, and that's the thing. It was bringing to me this movie was the way that I thought it was. It brought two TV characters because I don't know how many people watch the Disney Plus shows, even though it's MCU related. I don't know if people just watch the movies and the shows. Like you know, what I'm saying there's people that
the
only
people
watch
that
the
watch the
movies,
shows is a percentage, a fraction of
right?
of the movie going.
So that's my point. So if that's the case, this movie was meant to not only fix Captain Marvel, which in my opinion it did. I thought it fixed her because this was the best. That was the Captain Marvel I felt like we wanted in that movie. But then it also brought the two characters from the TV shows and brought them into your face because these are two characters, especially Iman and Miss Marvel, that's gonna be the future of what you see on these movies. So to me, that's why I don't look at this as Captain Marvel 2. I get why you do, and I get if you're saying that's how they marketed it,
It was
then
100%
I
marketed like that for the reason I'm saying. Like nobody knows these characters.
well, then
Movie
I
going
get that.
audiences. Movie
I
going
get
audiences.
that. I get your reasoning. I
That's
get
why
your
the movie did
reasoning.
so poorly in the box office. It's one of the worst.
I see.
This is one of the
I
most. I think it is
well, I
actually.
don't.
This is the
No, it is.
worst.
It is, but you
By
know why?
far, it's the
But you know
worst.
why? We both know why that's the
No, the
case.
reason is it's not because it's all women. It's not because of
It
that.
is because
No, it's
even Black
because
Widow did bad,
no, it's
and
because
Black Widow is a B plus. It's a B movie
no,
for
no.
us.
First of all, Black Widow was not a theatrical release. Black Widow was a Disney Plus release. It wasn't even in
Oh,
theaters.
that's true. That's
That
true.
was her whole
Yeah,
problem. But
that's
Marvel's
true.
was
That's
in
right.
theaters,
Yeah.
and to my point, it was marketed as a Captain Marvel 2 movie, but to the movie going audience, they didn't take Captain Marvel seriously, like I said, because even in her own movie, it was a split dual buddy cop type
Yeah.
shit. So
Yeah.
nobody's taking her serious, and now you're having her share the spotlight three ways. with three, I would say three TV shits because Nick Fury also had to kind of rebuild, even though people knew him from the movies.
Yeah,
Off of the
yeah.
show, fans were like, "Yo, what the fuck was this?" He had to redeem himself here too. So I feel like it was too. It was a great cast, but not enough for them three to do.
So what are you
For
doing?
I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna waste the turn to knock it. Like I said, I had it at a D.
That's what I'm saying. So
I had it at a D. I don't agree with you that it's a B. I really don't. But the
so
fact
then
that it's
move
two
it.
away, I don't know if it's worth. I feel it feels petty for me to move it down one when I really want to move it down a D, but I can't. I really, you know what I'm saying. So really, I
That's
feel
like
like I'm
saying
arguing
if
it.
I have that's like saying I have it at S and you have it at a C, you're not gonna move it. That don't make sense. I literally that's 2 grades down from that you have. You have to move it. By logic, you have to.
I moved it. Go.
I
I
can
moved it.
understand if I was a C and
I
you were and
moved
I was
it.
a B.
I moved it.
Okay.
Go.
That's fine. I'm fine with it being a C. It's okay. That's
Go.
why I said I knew that would make you move it, but I just thought I really do think it's a B. Um, all right. So I'm gonna end it
Motherfucker got the
man,
lowest grossing Marvel movie by far at a B.
because I don't care what other people. If I care what
But
other
that
people
matters. If we
think,
talking about impact, that made no
no. But
impact.
this is my list, right? This is where I have it. This is not what the world has it.
Our list now. Go ahead. Go.
And in my list, I have this movie as a D. You don't agree with it. I know you're gonna move it, but it's okay. I have Guardians 2 as a D. And I do not like that movie at all. It's not as funny as the other ones. I thought the I thought it was very like the story was just to me was just very boring. In fact, this was one of the movies I fell asleep on. I remember not finishing the movie when I first watched it. I eventually did. Took me like 3 times to actually finish it. Um, I thought it was a very poor job of of using the Guardians. I didn't like Ego. Uh, trying to think what else. There was a lot of bad things, but it just wasn't entertaining to me. I did not like two, and I think this is why this movie is why this is not the best trilogy in the MCU. Um, it's for that. It's this movie alone. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I technically have this as a no. I did not move it. I think I wanted to put it as a F in my original list, but I did not do that. Um, I had to be a little respectful. Um, but yeah, other than that, I did not like this movie at all. So I'll go. You can go ahead and go because I know you love the Guardians. I'm curious where you have it though.
I had it at a B. I moved it up to C from D because I had it at a B. So for the same reason I had to knock Marvels down one, I had to move Guardians Volume 2 up. Um, I thought it was not the best of the trilogy, but I thought that it was solid. The character development of Rocket and Peter and Drax in this movie I thought was great, and Nebula I thought was great. Ego was underutilized, not great. But Yondu and the whole ending there, it gets me every time, and I feel like
Yondu, yeah, Yondu.
and
Major props to
I feel
Yondu. I'll
like
give him that.
I feel like I feel like Guardians 2 was solid. But like I said, I had it at B. Um, but as far as using music in the narrative that I mentioned with A, I feel like the one of the three movies that does it the best is Volume 2. But you know,
I can understand that.
I mean, you fell asleep during this movie. All right, I don't know what movie you're watching. I tell you
I
this right
didn't. I
now.
just
I tell you this right now. Out of Guardians 1, 2, and 3, the one that I rewatched the most is 2.
yeah. The one I rewatched is one.
That's
I
I
don't.
mean, the one I rewatched the most is
I would
2.
rather
But
watch
for
the
the
Christmas special again over two.
I mean, all right, man. I got it at C. because
Okay.
you had it at fucking D. All right, you
Yeah.
go again.
All right. So let's just go with an S tier. I'm going with Civil War S tier. I mean, it was basically an Avengers movie. Um, it had the best iteration of Spider-Man. That airport scene is just awesome as well. Um, and the whole that fight scene with Cap and Iron Man and Bucky was awesome. The whole decision at the end, um, with him finding out about wait, yeah, right? That was that movie, right? I'm not confused. That's when he found out about his parents, right? It was
I
Civil
mean, if
War.
it's an S tier movie, I would think you know what the hell it's about.
Yeah, no,
You know, if
my
it's an
mind.
S tier
Look.
movie,
I didn't
if
write.
you're gonna
Look, I
put
don't
this
have my
movie at
notes.
S tier for the same
I
reasons
look.
off camera,
It's a.
I put it at A. I would think the very least you would know is what the fuck happens in the
Oh,
movie.
oh
Maybe
man,
it's
it
not
was.
an S
Look,
tier, rough. Maybe it's not.
no, it is.
Since you
It
don't
is S tier.
remember.
It was just look. I love Civil War for the scenes, everything I said, but I just can't remember if that part was at the end.
I know Ryan
But either
Coogler's
way,
not filming this because you're not being sincere and you're not being honest and you're not giving a genuine performance right now.
how am I not giving a genuine
Because, like I
performance? Civil
said, for all the
War.
reasons you're putting it at S, and you
Okay,
don't even fucking remember what happens in it, those are the same reasons I put it at
go ahead.
A. You just said it's an Avengers movie.
Uh,
Just remember,
it's
you
been
said it was an
yeah,
Avengers movie, and you said it
yeah.
was Tom Holland's best Spider-Man performance. So go ahead. Go ahead, continue.
It was. It was.
Go ahead, continue.
It was his best. It
Go
was his best
ahead.
performance. I'll give him that. In the what 5 minutes he was in, or I don't know how much screen time it was, but it was
So
Spider Man action wise
you
awesome.
don't even know how long your favorite character was even in. Yeah, all right.
What you want me to know? 6 minutes 32 seconds? Like I don't know. I didn't time it,
Know something about the movie.
but okay. Anyway, I just know it was S tier. So go ahead. You go.
I'm not gonna knock it down to A because that's where I have it. I'm not gonna knock it down. I'll let you put your bullshit Civil War up there to bloat the S tier rank. Go ahead. I have it at A though. I had it at A because of the same reasons you said. It's supposed to
Okay.
be the third movie in the Cap trilogy, but it's not a Cap movie. It's Avengers 2.5. That's what it is. And even though it does one of the better jobs of introducing characters to the MCU, you know, through the open slots that are in the fucking lineup of who needs to fight here. Tom Holland Spider Man and T'Challa, you know, played by the late great uh um Chadwick Boseman. Okay, even though it does a great job of that, you know, Tony's parents dying and Cap not telling him is really fucked up. I mean, Cap comes off as kind of a dick. Sorry, he does. Cap's a good friend. He's just not a good friend. And he should have told Tony, and that's fucked up. But anyway, a lot of fights happen here. You know, the world building with the Civil
Oh
War,
yeah,
the
you got.
Sokovia
I mean, you
Accords.
also have Black Panther's introduction.
I
Like
said that
I thought
already.
Black
I
Panther.
said
Yeah, I
that
know. So
just now.
and it
So
was this one. I don't know why. For some reason, I mixed it up. But yes, it was this movie.
anyway, this is also where it
With the
gets
whole.
weirder. This gets weirder with Sharon Carter's niece and Cap. That's
Who
weird.
cares? Why are
But
you so obsessed
whatever.
with that?
I have it at A because it's not genuinely a Cap movie. It's an ensemble, you know, Avengers 2.5
It's
movie.
the third Cat movie, and it's
I
and
feel
it's
like
and it's
they
better
felt
than
pressure.
Guardians.
Is my turn. I feel like they had pressure to make this movie the way that they did because Age of Ultron underperformed. Even though it did very well, it still underperformed. And so I felt like they
Still a good
felt
movie.
compelled to put together another type of Avengers, a big movie. And so they rushed Civil War. Civil War was a
Rushed.
they
Okay.
rushed, yeah, because Civil War in the
Okay. Okay. No,
comics,
no, go talk. You
Civil
good. You
War in
good.
the comics, like
It's
a
a
lot of the
it's a
stories,
much bigger.
way
Yeah.
bigger, and it should have
Yeah,
been
I know.
something that played out longer than one movie. That being said, um, you know, you have it at S. I'm not gonna waste the turn to knock it down one. The only thing that's gonna make me feel better is putting my own S on here now. Fuck you. I'm putting
Okay, go
X Men
ahead.
'97 up on the S tier. Oh wait
Awesome.
a minute. By the way, where you have Civil War on here ahead of anything? Where you got it?
I would have it after No Way Home.
Like
And then
there.
you can put, yeah, you can go ahead and put 97 above.
Yep. All
Yeah,
right. So
I'm good with that.
I got X Men '97 as an example of an S tier MCU project. For the simple fact that I mean, impact alone, the X Men '97 series. I mean, it hit meme levels. It brought people back to the MCU. It was part of the
Mm,
upswing after the multiverse fiasco phase, uh, and it has influenced the even the character designs in the MCU live action films. Okay, because up until this dropped, even though Endgame, Doomsday or whatever the fuck was lining up to be, you know, the kind of cameo fest that is about to be, the design, the people behind that even said that Cyclops' outfit and a lot of the looks that you're going to see in that movie were influenced by the popularity of X-Men '97, which borrows from the Jim Lee '90s era X-Men.
thank you.
I thought that X-Men '97 did a great job of pushing up and pushing forward and reintroducing some characters that in the Fox Marvel movies were mishandled. I'm speaking
Yep.
specifically about Cyclops.
Yep.
You know, he went from, you know, to a lot of laymen and casual fans' points of view and opinions, he went from this kind of B tier to C tier character, shot all the way up to AS. He's one of the most anticipated characters in a lot of releases for Marvel video games right now and character polling. When we're talking about Marvel Tokon, when we're talking about Marvel Rivals, when we're talking about anything, people, Cyclops is up there because they like, oh, this motherfucker's cool. Oh, he is the leader, and I like what they've done with that. And again, that's all me leaning on impact. In terms of a narrative, I mean, X Men '97 is up there with any animated series. Period. Point blank. Like it was that good and that solid, and the fact that it improved on an already classic series from 20 some odd years ago speaks volumes. A lot of controversy with the creatives, a lot of things with that. Hopefully, season 2 and 3 going forward don't suffer from those changes. But as it is, as it stands, X Men '97 is one of the best examples of Marvel reaching into the bin and reimagining, reintroducing some of their strongest, most compelling characters that they have in their library. Period and point blank.
Only thing I agree is a S, so not even thinking about changing
Yeah, that's
anything.
what I thought.
Um, the only well, I mean that was an obvious, but the only thing I would say is X Men '97 had a lot of nostalgia feelings, as
Of course it
and
did.
to me, it was just the animated version of No Way Home as far as the nostalgia feelings and stuff like that. No Way Home just did it as a live action. So if
Completely
you love
different.
X Men
It's
'97,
completely different.
if you love X Men '97, you should love No Way Home as
No,
much as
that's
I do.
completely
So
different because X Men
I don't think
'97
so. And,
X Men
we
'97
can
takes
move on. It's my
place in
turn. It's
'97,
my turn. It's my
they
turn.
had to
It's
force a
nostalgia.
narrative, a reason to bring
No,
back other
no,
peers. Not even
no.
the
Whatever,
same.
whatever. It took place in that. It's 2025 when
You
it
got a
came
better
out.
argument
Stop it.
saying that Deadpool
Stop it.
Wolverine does that.
No,
Deadpool Wolverine is a better example.
no. That's a good example too of
No,
another
that's the
movie.
only
Or
example. X Men '97 is a terrible
no,
example of that.
it's the same thing. It's a nostalgia thing.
Wow.
They went back to '90s and continue the story
Chat at this
from a
point,
great
chat
show.
silence. Whoever the hell is watching this, because there's somebody watching this. You got a couple. Chat silence
Uh,
right now is a borderline hate crime. The fact that they're not chiming
uh,
in on that one, but whatever. You got it at
what?
S. Your
No,
turn.
I'm comparing X Men
Your
'97, an
turn.
S tier
With
show,
the fucking smirk
S
on your
tier
face.
project.
Next
Hold
turn.
on, the S tier project, comparing it to another S tier project.
We're two
That's a
hours in,
compliment.
and we got a lot
Whatever.
more to go.
Well, look, we're gonna do this in part twos anyway. So all I'm saying is, let me see, what's the next one?
You tell me.
We're
It's
gonna
your
have to do
turn.
this in a part two.
Your turn.
So I know that. I'm looking at where we should go. So what do we have? We have a D. Yeah, let's give a C tier. Um, actually, no, I don't even know if that's a C
I
tier.
just want you
Okay,
to know
give
all the C tier is all you. By the way,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't think this, and all the D tier is yours.
There's only two.
There's only three, but I'll do a D tier for you to match it up.
You do
Then,
whatever you want, man.
um, no, no, yeah, I got you. Let's go D tier. Let's go Iron Man 3. There wasn't really much special about Iron Man 3. It's one of those movies. I don't think it was terrible, but it also just was not. It's a little below average. It wasn't. There's really no memorable parts in that for me
Where would you put it?
at all. Um, it's not even much to talk about. I
No, I
mean,
mean like where in the D? Like where?
no,
Or
it could, to me. I would put it probably in front of. Yeah, I would put it in front of She Hulk because I really didn't like She Hulk that much. I think the cast is better in Eternals, so the cast is what beats Iron Man 3. And then I know, I'm trying to think. And yeah, there's really not much to talk about. I mean, shout out to Pepper Potts. Look, she was good in there, and of course Robert Downey Jr. He did what he can, but it just wasn't an entertaining movie. Like it's like right below
yeah,
average.
I had it a D as well. The house party protocol at the end was cool with all the suits coming out. A waste of fucking tech, but whatever. Uh, the fact that they completely wasted that whole storyline with the what the hell is that thing called that makes you hot?
The Manor. Oh
Well, the
no, I'm sorry.
Mandarin is a whole other thing, completely wasted.
Yeah,
Wonder Man
yeah,
kind of redeems him, but whatever. Um,
yeah.
I forgot the name of that virus that makes people living bombs or whatever. That totally went away. That
It's okay.
whole plot line went away, like it like disappeared because Pepper still had that, but whatever. And then like she had powers at the end of this movie. She had
Yeah,
powers, but that went away.
yeah,
And then Tony getting the whole thing removed, the arc reactor from his chest removed at the end of the movie. That also was weird because it's like you could have bended this shit. The fuck?
yeah.
Like that was a huge plot line for you. Yeah, that was weird. The bad guy was pretty cool. Like he had persona, but again he wasn't memorable and they killed him. So I gotta knock it for that.
Yeah, just yeah,
Yeah.
just I
So I
think it's just
mean,
one of those you just move
and
on and
Tony's
call it a
the
day.
best part of this movie, in my opinion, besides the whole climax at the end with the special effects and yay all the different suits, is Tony's interactions with the kid, and them representing his PTSD with the kid. But I feel like they could have done more than that. And he came off as a jackass to the kid, like a little bit too much. So yeah, whatever. Weakest of the trilogy for sure, maybe. Yeah, I have it at D as well.
I was by far the weakest. I don't,
Uh, okay. All right, let's go. Let's go for a layup. Not much to say on this one. Where the fuck are you? You should be close to Iron Man. There you go.
what's that?
Inhumans. F.
Inhumans.
That was
Okay.
one of the ABC series. Um, Immemorable. Garbage. Don't want to talk about it. This was shoved
I've
down
never.
our throats because Marvel, Disney was mad that they didn't have the X Men mutant franchise yet, and we get this instead of good shit. So, F, in my opinion, it's the worst or one of the worst. Actually, it's not the worst, but it is definitely one of the worst. I didn't even finish the series. I watched like an
Well,
episode and a half.
I've never watched it, so
Dog
we'll
shit.
just go with F with that.
Move along.
I'm I'll move on. Let's go with another F. I think let's just get the F's out of the way. I'm gonna throw in
F's out of the way.
love out of the way. I'm just gonna get all the F's out. Like let's
Okay.
just, for me, I'm getting them out.
What you got?
Whether you, I don't know if you agree, but
What you
Love
got?
and Thunder. Let's
Love and
get Love and
Thunder.
Thunder in there. Yeah, that's a F for me.
Where? Before I
But,
put it, where you got it?
I mean, I've never seen Inhuman, so I'm gonna put it as I'll put it right before Quantumania because I think Quantumania is the worst. So, um, at least there was some funny parts in. Actually, no, put Thor in front of What If as well. What If was trash. Um, but yeah, I think that Love and Thunder. I mean, it had some funny moments in there. Nothing crazy. what they did to Gore was embarrassing.
Terrible.
Um, Jane being like a as big as a person as she was in that movie, it doesn't make sense to me. Um, yeah, that's it. I mean, it was just really bad. I thought they after what they did with Ragnarok to go to this was just I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Yeah.
So
This movie was what did I write here? Lost the plot to silliness and wasted gore. Those are the basic notes that I have. This one leaned way too heavy in the humor side of things to its detriment. Um, but most of all, they wasted one of the best villains in the comic books of the last 15 years, Gore the God Butcher. And the fact that you got Christian Bale to play him and you wasted that,
oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I forgot about it was Christian Bale.
yeah,
Such a great actor. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I don't like what
The
they did with
fact that you
that,
got
but
him to want to play that, and this is what you did with it, you know, Gore
yeah.
the God Butcher deserved way better. And sometimes you judge, sometimes you enjoy your heroes and their triumphs based on what they have to overcome. And Gore the God Butcher in the comics put the fear, for lack of a better term, put the fear of God in Thor. You know what I'm saying? Like Gore the God Butcher had Thor pissing his pants in the comics. He was that big of a threat, that significant of an adversary, and bar for bar, he got some of the best lines for villains in comics in the last 15 years in Marvel comics.
Yeah.
And the fact that this movie did not know what to do with him was a shame. Uh, the Jane Foster thing, I mean, in the comics, it was cool. I don't feel like this movie earned it because we didn't get to see enough of or a lot of Jane Foster. Even though when she was on screen for the limited amount of time, uh, she was played well, but it didn't feel earned. It really did. Nothing in this movie felt earned. Not the laughs, nothing. It was a lot of it was cringe, to be honest. I saw this movie one time. I don't think I want to see it again. It's insulting. And the thing is, I like Taika Waititi, but even Chris Hemsworth after this was like, "Yeah, I would like to get more to the series." Like he said, he wants to play the character more. I feel like he has a need to redeem the character after this performance, after this showing. So yeah, I have it at F tier as well. Garbage. Okay, moving on. Let's go to a C tier. I'm gonna just put Moon Knight over here at C tier. I'm gonna put it ahead of the Marvels personally. Um, I really like this series. I did, and I know you might say to yourself, "Then why are you putting it at C?" Um, they haven't done anything. Like I don't see where there's any tie-ins. I it feels like it's just dangling there. And this is one of those series that if they do end up doing a Midnight Suns and they do end up prominently putting, Mark Spector, Moon Knight as part of that, great. In a way, I would retroactively bump this up a little bit because then it would feel more consequential. But I don't see this series getting a much deserved season 2. I would love to because it had a great cliffhanger ending, but I don't see that happening. So for that reason, on the impact level, I really knock it down. But I did enjoy this series. I loved what they did with representing his multiple personality situation. I thought that he was portrayed really well. And I like to see when an actor gets another chance at a superhero thing and does it and nails it and does well in it. And Oscar Isaac, I thought, from his Apocalypse performance in X Men Apocalypse, this was like a redeeming role for him. That yeah, you can be part of a comic book movie, or series, or related IP and do well. Um, so yeah, I got it a C, mainly knocking it for impact. Otherwise, I would have put it probably at like a B. But that's where I
See,
got Moon Knight.
I don't like I personally don't like how you're ranking them based on in like
Impact
on
is part
stuff
of it.
that's not. I don't think that's fair. Like I'm doing it more on what they were. Like it's not the show's fault that there's nothing from it. Like I don't know. That's just the way I'm doing it.
It's funny because when I bring
'Cause-
up impact and dangling narratives on other things, you ain't got nothing to say.
no, I said the same thing that you said about like werewolf. Yeah, I was fine with werewolf for the beat, but you said the same thing for that. I
Yeah, but
didn't agree with
that was a
that.
more that was shorter, and the thing is that with werewolf, there's more characters that
No,
have
no,
a
I'm fine.
chance.
I was fine with it at B, but I'm just saying, like,
You want to move it?
I don't think that's right. No, 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 I don't. I'm just saying, like, I'm fine with Werewolf at a B.
I'm not talking about werewolf. I'm talking
Like,
about Moon Knight.
oh, Moon Knight, yeah, because I think Moon Knight as a show was definitely better than a C.
Okay, so where you putting it? You
Um,
gonna move it to B?
I mean, I had it. I'll be honest, I had Moon Knight as an A. So,
Oh,
um, that's how much I liked it. So because I have no choice, I have to move it. I would have to move it to B because,
where you putting it in B?
um, I mean, if I had it as an A, it would have to be high. So I mean, I put it shit. I would put it probably right after. No, you know what? No, I would put it right in the front for
Put this
me.
at the front.
I would put that at the front.
You think Moon
I
Knight was
didn't.
better than Jessica Jones, and you think it was better than Black Panther?
I mean, I have it as an A. So if I have it at A, it would make sense to have it in front of
Yes,
B.
yeah, okay.
So yeah. Like I had Jessica Jones. No, so I also had Jessica Jones as an A, but you had it as a B. You put it there. I didn't want to waste a turn on moving it.
Okay.
But
But you did waste it for Moon Knight.
well, you have Moon Knight as a C.
Yeah,
I have it as A.
yeah.
I also had Jessica Jones as an A.
What
But
did
I'm not
you
gonna.
love about Moon Knight?
Well, I think it was the whole personalities thing. I thought he played that character so well and so believable.
Mm.
Like it was really well acting by Oscar Isaac, right? That's his name.
Yep.
Um, like he played that character amazing. Like I didn't know anything about Moon Knight, and it was because of his performance that made me like want to know more about. And then I just thought it was just really well done. So because of that, that's why I had it
I
as an
think
A.
that if I didn't know as much as I knew about Moon Knight, then the impact of me seeing it for the first time, I'm like, oh. But I did know a lot about the character. Although I do agree with you, he was portrayed very well. Um, it's just one of those things. Like Moon Knight came out what 3 years ago now, two three
Yeah,
years
probably
ago.
three or four, maybe.
Exactly. So I mean, we're not talking about just a year or two. This is something that's just been dangling and untouched and unreferenced at
Yeah, I mean,
all.
I
Like
think
you
it
know what I'm
would have
saying? Like
been
I,
it would have been though if they didn't. It was supposed to be a part of the Blade thing, so like
yeah,
it's like
maybe.
I can't hurt Moon Knight because they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Blade. Like that's not Moon Knight's show's fault. The show itself was great. I can't punish it because nothing came from. That's not its fault. We're not judging
I gotta do for
it
me.
as a
For me,
MCU.
it
We judging it
matters.
as the show.
To me, it
As that
matters.
show
The reason why it
at the
matters
time too.
when
At the
it comes
time, it,
to
it meant a lot.
yeah, at the
Its
time,
impact
it's been
at the
4 years.
time was high because
It's been 4 years. My
it
thing is
was
the reason why impact matters to me in
okay.
MCU rankings is because everything is tied together. Like
Okay,
that's what makes the MCU what it is. We're not
but
talking
okay,
about
you're right.
66 independent projects or even six separate trilogies. We're talking about
Okay,
a universe where everything in some way, shape, or form or fashion is supposed to be tied in with one another.
no,
And
you're
Moon Knight
right.
is a loose end that has been dangling for 4 fucking years.
Okay, but you're right. But the thing is, I think you're right. Impact does matter, but you need to think about the impact at the time when it came out. not now, because it's not its fault that they fucked up, not the show itself.
Well, I could
Like at the
argue.
time,
Okay, the
Moon
impact
Knight's
at the
impact,
time,
hold on, at the time was a big deal because it came after WandaVision, that was a hit show for them.
Loki.
Loki was good. Moon Knight, I think, came out right after. Like they were on a streak of good shows. So the impact at the time was good because at the time they were building to eventually do this whole Midnight Sun scenes, which is why we got Eternals at the end of Eternals. We got Blade. They at the time the impact was a big deal. Now it's not our fault. It's not that show's fault or these other shows' fault that because of the showrunners or outside influence or wherever the case is, the reason that the Blade and Midnight Sun shit is not happening. It's not that like it's not their fault. So the impact at the time was a big deal. People actually cared about the Midnight Suns. I didn't know anything about the Midnight Suns until I heard about Moon Knight, and then they came out the game not too much long after that. So the impact was a big deal.
Okay. I mean, that's why you moved it up from C to B.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's a B.
Yeah, then
It
now it
should be
is.
an A, but it should be a.
That's where it's at
It's
now.
okay.
If it had that
It's fine.
big, if
Go
it had
ahead. It's
that
your
big an
turn.
impact, maybe you would have
Go
talked
your
about
turn.
it earlier. All right, so I'm gonna go now.
Well, I didn't want to waste it on
Again,
a simple, easy one, but you
I'm gonna
just want to
go. I'm gonna
waste
go
it.
now. Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
So I'm gonna go with another B project. Um,
Give me
some of
B
the
projects.
best action scenes that the
Yeah,
MCU has had on recorded on film.
you're gonna piss me off. I
But
already
it's
know where you're
damn,
going.
it's been a while, it's been such a long time. And the secondary characters didn't love too much. Be honest with you, a little too cute, a little too fantastical by the end of it, to be honest. Not really the vibe I thought they were gonna go with. I felt like a lot of that fantastical stuff that they were shoving onto this character belonged on another character that was definitely underserved. But we'll get to that one. So B tier, I'm gonna go ahead and put the great, quasi kung fu action flick, Shang-Chi. And I'm gonna put Shang-Chi, I'll put it behind Jessica Jones. Yeah, Shang-Chi, great fights. Simu Liu, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Very likable,
Yeah.
very cool. A lot of charisma. Been a long time though. Been a long time since we've seen anything done with him. It took all the way until I think Marvel Zombies before we heard Shang-Chi played by him again. So yeah, because of the secondary characters being kind of weak, it ended like they leaned into this fantastical Ten Ring shit, which is not really Shang-Chi's deal. The Ten Rings is really that's the Mandarin shit. I felt that the Shang-Chi kung fu mysticism shit that should have gone in the Iron Fist series. Iron Fist fights a fucking dragon. Shang-Chi, I don't think he really does that. You know what I mean? But whatever.
So you're gonna make
Solid
MCU gonna make
B.
that.
Solid B. Great action, but weak ensemble cast in my opinion. And I felt like it borrowed too much from another hero. There you go. Shang-Chi B.
You could leave it there. It's an A, but I'll leave it there. It's fine because it's
Is
a
it?
lower A. So,
Why would it be an
but
A?
it's a lower A, but it's okay. We're gonna leave it at B because at least it's at the top part of B, so I'm fine with that. Um, you know, yeah, I'm cool with it. It's not. I think Shang Chi is one of the most like. It's one of those movies where it shouldn't be as good as it was, and it was really good. It was
I
really
agree.
good.
I agree. It
Um,
shouldn't have been as good as it was.
I think the
Because
action
Iron Fist should have been
was
that good, and then Shang Chi should have been his own thing.
yeah, but the MCU didn't make Iron Fist, so I don't like it. The same people in charge of the MCU had no say in Iron Fist, so it doesn't even matter.
I don't
To
know.
bring that to bring that in doesn't that's not their fault,
I don't know.
but it's okay.
They're bringing back that same actor to play it again.
It's
I don't
your
know.
yeah. Now
They're
that they own
canonizing.
it,
They're canonizing it. So I don't know.
they are, but at the time they didn't like. You can't judge it on now. You gotta judge it on what it was at the time. But it's cool. That's your decision. That's fine. Shang-Chi, probably the best fighting of the entire MCU. Probably like at least like action sequences, for
Okay.
sure. Um, very entertaining show. I mean, movie. I like the cast. You know, I know a lot of people don't like Aquafina. I thought she was good in the show, in the movie. But whatever. That's fine. I'm cool with him at a B, only because, like I said, it's at the top tier B.
For
And
now,
I'm fine with that for now. Yeah, for now. All right.
what you got?
Trying to see. So I just watched this again. Um, I actually watched it this earlier today. Um,
Oh, fresh.
so it was on my list of things to watch again because I only watched it like twice, but it was a very early on. We already mentioned this movie, um, but it had some very interesting characters that I thought they did really well with. To be honest with you, I'm gonna put it at B as well. It's gonna be at the bottom of B. Um, I thought it just dragged. If it didn't drag as much, um, it would be higher. But Age of Ultron for me, I got it at B.
You got Age of Ultron and
Uh,
B.
yeah, I got it at a
Where
B.
you got it at?
I probably will put it, honestly, behind Widow. Like, I think I would rather watch the Widow movie more. I think that, like I say, it dragged. I think it was a little long. If it wasn't as long as it was, I think it would have been better. I did like Ultron. I think Ultron was really good in that. Um, I did like God, what's his name? He dies in Black Panther. Uh, fuck. What's the like guy? He steals the vibranium. Uh,
Claw.
you know, yes, Claw. Um, you know, I thought he was good in that movie. I don't know. It was just something about Avengers. Age of Ultron just never reached the other Avengers levels. Like there was, I think there's like a complete. There's definitely a gap between Ultron and the first Avengers movie, and then Infinity War, and then of course Endgame. Like there's definitely a gap. Um, I mean, I thought that there was definitely moments in the film where each hero got like the little action points and stuff like that.
Huh?
Another part I didn't like about the movie was the whole Hulk and um Black Widow like love thing. I don't know. I just didn't like that.
Sun's getting really
Um,
low.
but yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's a still. I thought it was still a good enough movie to be a B, but I would put it more on the lower tier. Like we got it right now. So we'll see what you put.
Yeah. I had Age of Ultron at an A. I too watched it recently. I had Age of Ultron at an A. I feel like over time it aged a little better, but mainly because I think if Gore is the most underutilized villain, like misused, underutilized, whatever, right? If Gore
Mhm.
is the most, which you can make the argument that he is the most, right?
Right.
Then I would say the second most would be Ultron. Um, I would say
Oh,
he's
okay.
the second most
So
because
you didn't like him in there?
no, I loved him here.
Oh, okay, okay,
But
okay,
what
okay.
did they do? They killed him. You know what I mean? Even though yes, he may come back, blah blah blah, but it's been a long time.
I was, yeah, I was say
Yeah,
he
but
could
they
come
but
back.
they but they killed him. You know, and I loved him as a villain here. I really did. But I say underutilized because this is again this is another. You can make the argument this is the most misnomer like titled of the MCU movies too. It's Age of Ultron. Like yeah, this Civil War was brief, you know, compared to what it was. It was more like civil battle, civil scrap fight. You know what I'm saying? You can make the argument for what we got so far. Not Eternals. I joked about that, but there's some other one like Secret Invasion or whatever that are these longer narratives that don't play out in an afternoon. So Age of Ultron was more like Weekend at Ultron's, and I think that that character deserved more. And I think that by killing him again, even if they bring him back, it's been fucking 6, 7, 8 years, whatever. Killing him and Quicksilver, you know what I'm saying? Like doing
Oh
both.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot to mention the
Doing
Quicksilver
both
thing.
of that, it kind of
Yeah.
like I wanted to see Ultron still going at it, being, you know what I mean? I don't know. They killed both of them off. So I don't know. Vision was great
Yeah,
in
the
this.
Quicksilver thing was shocking, but
Yeah, and it had a great
yeah,
impact. It made you hate Ultron more,
yeah,
but you also, me as a
yeah.
fan, I don't want Ultron to die too. I want him to live on, and he should have been the target of Wanda's ire over the long run more than like Thanos. Like she
And
gets
I will
all.
say too, yeah. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say, like, I did like speaking of Wanda, like all her like vision scenes, I thought was like really cool too. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Me
she did
too.
a
I
yeah,
liked Hawkeye in this movie. Uh, I wasn't a huge fan of the Hulk Natasha thing either, but I get if it didn't feel cheap because I understood where that came from. They hinted at a little bit of that even on their first encounter in Avengers. Remember they
yeah,
send
yeah. I
her to
know.
get him, and
Yeah, yeah.
she's there when they kind of go. I don't
They're
know if you've been
following up.
I don't know if you've been looking
Yeah,
at chat, but
I,
um,
I know. I didn't see chat right now. Hold on.
Ruff has Ultron ahead, and yeah, like I said, I had it at A, or at the very least, if you're gonna put it at B, I would have had it
Ultron should be
a
ahead of
way
Jessica
higher
Jones.
B.
Okay.
I would have had
I
it a
mean,
way
that's
higher B.
fine. You can move it.
No, I'm not gonna
It
waste.
doesn't count against it.
No, no,
No,
no,
I'm saying
no,
it doesn't.
no. When you place it, you shift it, but the tier adjustments, that's a turn. I'm not gonna shift it from where it's at because I'm okay with it on the tier. I'm not gonna fight it to be an A, but
No,
I
no,
got to.
no. I'm saying if you wanted to move it on on
No,
B, that doesn't
you
count
do
against
that.
you.
You can still technically you can shift it without losing a turn if you wanted to do
Oh,
that. I'm not gonna.
oh.
I'm not gonna.
I didn't know that counts because you
No.
did that for me earlier.
Well, because I hadn't asked where you wanted it. I forgot
Oh,
to ask.
well, no, it was your turn. It
Yeah, but
was
I
I
had
forgot which
forgot to
movie it was.
ask where you had wanted it
Oh, okay. I see
before.
what you're saying.
So anyway,
So you would put it higher
I would have it at.
if you could move it right now. Where would you put it? You would put it above Jessica,
I would put
like
yeah, I would put it above Jessica Jones.
okay.
Um, I would put it above Jessica Jones because we're comparing a 2 season series to a movie, so that's weird. But I I would rewatch. It's more rewatchable. It's easier for me to. I would rewatch Age of Ultron 4 times before I go back to rewatch all of Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more
Okay.
rewatchable, even though it's not fair to compare.
See, I would take Shang-Chi over it. I like Shang-Chi better more than I do Ultron. Um, I don't know. I just think it's too long. If it was shorter, it'd been better.
It's funny because you're saying
But
you thought it was too long. I'm saying I don't think it was expansive enough. Like
well, no, I'm just
because
no. I know
he
that
should have
they
died, but
probably
it's
it
whatever.
could have been more. It could have been built over multiple movies and shit like that. I get that. I agree with you on that
Yeah,
because I don't know much about Age of Ultron as much as you do.
yeah.
But from what I know,
Well,
yes, I understand it could have been. But I'm just
I'll just say
saying,
this. I'll just say this.
if
Anytime Ultron attacks the Avengers,
yeah,
it usually turns into a multi arc, like either trans-dimensional or
hmm
time lapsing, time travel type. Like, because when Ultron wins, he fucking wins, like at the root. So you have to go either all the way back or all the way forward to try to take him out. You know what I mean? On a
well,
Kang
see,
type of
that's what
shit,
I'm saying.
Ultron
If
is
they had done,
serious business.
if they done Ultron in two parts, I think, and then like shortened this movie and then made another
Yeah,
one, then I would have been fine with this movie, and this movie would have been higher. But because of the movie we got, it was like it was a little over 2.5 hours, I
yeah, it
think,
was yeah.
maybe close. It was a pretty lengthy movie. it was just there was a lot of I felt like dead space in there. That it was just like, all right, like the Natasha Hulk thing. I just thought they just kept extending it to
But
fill time.
I'll
I
I'll
felt
say
like,
this. I'll say this, and then I think we should move on because we're both leaving at B.
yeah,
But I'll tell you this: probably one of the best Avengers moments, period, in any of the Avengers movies outside of Endgame, right? Is
hmm,
that scene when they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. A lot of cool character moments there. You know,
oh yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
cool. Like that, and you know, problematic as he
And
is.
the fight battle scene when they're in the circle,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
that part too.
yeah. There's a
Yeah, I
lot of
give them that
shots.
too.
There's a lot of comic booky, epic double page spread shots in this
Yeah,
movie. And
I
problematic as
agree.
he is, Josh Whedon did this one as well as Avengers One. Josh Whedon also wrote my favorite X Men arc story, whatever of all time, Astonishing X Men. He's
Yeah,
really good at ensemble at stories. He's really good at that. He's
yeah.
not supposedly he's not allegedly he's not as good with dealing with ensembles off the camera, but behind the camera.
All right,
But anyway,
all
yeah,
right.
Age
So
of
what's your
Ultron.
turn?
Age of Ultron's good. It's really good. I had it at A, but I'm not gonna fight you for the B place. All right, let's go with let's just to get it out of the way. I got Agents of Shield at C, and I'll put it at the low C. I did watch the majority of the series. I don't think I finished all of it, like the final season. But I have it at C tier because at the time, it was very ambiguous for how close it was and tied into it was with the rest of the MCU because Coulson was there and Hydra shit went down and they were dealing with Hydra shit. But ultimately, it wouldn't really overlap as much as I would have wanted it to. There
Hmm.
were definitely up and down episodes, definitely things that dragged, definitely some arcs or story arcs that went on a little longer than they should have, but it was a series. Um, but I thought it was entertaining. I really wish that they brought Quake over to the MCU, like to the films or to some other show. And I understand why they didn't bring Coulson over, but at the same time, they might as well have, and they never did. Uh, he was the motivation that Nick Fury used in Avengers One to rally them. This
Yep.
series basically gave a rationale for him being alive. It had tie-ins to the Kree. Maybe could have had tie-ins to Captain Marvel, but it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. So because there was a lot of things left dangling, and ultimately it was just a dick tease of a show, for lack of a better term. Sorry to be crude, but yeah, it just Shield. It was okay. C had some cool moments, but I don't think I'm going back to it.
I'll never go to it, so I'm cool with it. You
Okay.
can leave it there. C because I've never seen it. So,
Oh, you never watched it?
no, I never watched it. So,
All right. What you got?
all right. This is yeah. Let's knock it out of the park already.
Knock it out of the park.
I have I have a S tier here.
Okay.
This one
Def-
I
we
would be
definitely
shocked
don't
if
have
we
enough
don't.
of those.
Well, I have seven, and I have. Let me go. Let me see. One, two. That's five. Actually, no. I had eight. So far, I have five of them. So I was fine with it because I just added Daredevil because that originally wasn't a part of my original. Um, but S tier. I'll be shocked if it's not S tier for both of us. Infinity War. Let's just go ahead, and I would just put that number one for me.
Where's
I,
Infinity War?
I
You
just
will
think
put this
that it
number one.
was. Yeah, I would put it number one,
Okay.
from that list.
All
Um,
right.
I just think it's probably as far as like from top to bottom, it might be the best movie that the MCU has. Um, and then of course just the ending, that whole they end in a loss, and it was like the way they
They
lost
a
and
hell of a loss.
seeing yeah, like just seeing so many of our favorite characters just go away. Um, I don't know how many. I mean, I watched that one. I watched in theater. You know me, I don't really watch that many in theater, unless it's a big movie. I watched that, and I just you can hear pins dropping. Like you really could.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it was a very shock ending. I definitely did not expect that to happen. Um, but just top to bottom, it started off with a bang. With the whole Thor and Thanos just kicking Hulk and Thor's ass and killing Loki,
Hmm.
um, and then just that whole I did like the whole dynamic with Thor and the Guardians, like Star Lord trying to one up Thor, and I just thought that was cool. Um, the whole battle scene, Thor's appearance in the battle scene, which is one of the most epic moments in the MCU, and just in general.
Hell of an
Um,
entrance. Hell of an entrance.
um, the whole, Wakanda, Shuri was also. I don't think there was any bad part of that movie. I can't think of any bad part of that movie at all. I thought from top to bottom, this is probably the most well done Avengers movie there is, or not Avengers, just movie in the MCU there is. Um, so yeah, Infinity War S tier.
Yeah, I have Infinity Wars S tier. That's the movie I was referring to earlier when I said that it was like it was probably the MCU's like best comic book type like superhero movie. Um,
Yeah.
this one for the same reason that Captain America: Winter Soldier is strong. If you strip away the heroes, Infinity War was one of those that because it was these characters we had developed over the years,
Hmm.
the fact that this ended the way that it did and had the impact that it did, yeah, it benefited from the identities of the characters in the opposite way.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, because we're talking about Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel being in the forefront, it's not the cinematic Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? I would put
Yeah.
Infinity War ahead of it, ahead of Winter Soldier as well. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I got it there. Thanos, definitely established the build up to being the threat that he was. Stakes never felt higher. You know, in a way, it's not to knock him because it still had that same impact. I went and saw this movie in theaters multiple times, and every time I saw it, and I went to different theaters to see it too each time. Um, Same pin drop type of thing. Same type
I
of
like
gasping,
I feel like
holding
I
of the
still
breath.
get that. Like I can watch it right
It,
now,
it hits.
and I would be like, damn,
It
bro, like,
definitely it definitely hits
you
because
know,
you're like, yeah, they
yeah,
get their ass whooped and they get their
yeah,
comeuppance for not recovering as much as they should have from Civil War because a lot of this could have been avoided had Tony called Cap earlier, maybe, and they would have worked together closer from jump. But
yeah,
anyway, the inevitable was inevitable, Thanos, and he definitely made that impact uh, and deserved at least at the end of this movie his whole looking up at the sunset on the farm. I did it, clocking out type of scene. Like he deserved it
yeah,
after what he was able to pull off. So yeah, Infinity War, quite possibly, quite possibly,
very
the
possibly.
best. It's not my favorite, just because there's other
It's
things
not
that
mine
just
either.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's probably the best, maybe. Definitely a one seed type of motherfucker. So yeah, we
I would
got that.
agree.
All right.
I would agree.
Let's go to. I'm gonna go to an A tier movie. A tier is looking kind of lonely.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add something to there. This one was tech. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's a first movie, but it's also a sequel. Because it's from the Fox universe, but it canonizes everything else before it. This one a lot of nostalgia, but the purpose of it was to kind of say the farewells to a lot of Fox narratives, especially when it came to the X Men. I'm talking about Deadpool and Wolverine here. Deadpool Wolverine, I put it at A. But I put it at A behind the other projects only because the other projects were originals and this was a sequel. And the
Hmm.
Deadpool movies, they very much feel alike. Like one, two, and three, they feel alike.
Hmm.
But they each do what they do well. Um, I can't. This is one of those type of comedy movies, action movies that I can watch again. I don't think it ages as well as some of the other A movies do. But in terms of impact, I mean, I don't think I need to explain the impact that this movie has had. I mean,
Right.
it's we need to know why Thor cries, right? And we will find out. Why does Thor cry?
Mhm.
We're gonna find that out. TVA implications here. Hugh Jackman being brought into the canonized. Daphne Keane being brought in. Gambit being brought in.
Yeah.
Like Channing Tatum. This movie had the
Like
financial impact because it was a huge box office success, and narratively, it's it tied into Loki. It tied Battle World is probably going to be where we saw the climax of this impacts there.
yep.
Great action as well. Like I said, comedy is funny. If you like Ryan Reynolds, cool. If you don't, then you're gonna hate it. But I got an A because it's another solid Deadpool movie.
Yep.
And aside from X2 and fucking Logan, probably Hugh Jackman's best Wolverine performance. So
Bless
yeah,
you.
I got an A.
All right. I'm just gonna. I like it at A. I have it as an A as well. So,
Okay.
um, I'm cool with it there. I'm just gonna continue my streak of S. Um, until I guess either you change it or not, but we'll see.
You got it.
I'm just gonna go with the sequel. So let's go with Endgame. Endgame as a S tier for me as well. I know Endgame has its flaws.
Where? First of all, where?
Um, so this is tough. So is Endgame? Do I go by my favorite or do I go by what's better? If I go by my favorite, it would go. Actually, no, it would be in the same spot. I'll put it after No Way Home. I think, yeah, I think I will put it there. Trying to think. Let me see. It's my second favorite movie. The best. You know what? No, no, no. I'm sorry. It would go in front of Spider Man. I'm not gonna go by my favorites, so it would go in front of Spider
Okay.
Man.
Talk to the people about this movie. Why is it S? Why do you love it? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Endgame. I mean, like I said, I know it has flaws, but one, the last 45 minutes by itself, I think that's going down in movie history. I don't even think like not obviously just comic book history, but movie history. I think the emotions from that, all the you know, all the return of everybody, and each people having little moments here and there could have been a little bit more, but I mean, we got 45 minutes of just straight awesomeness to end that movie. And then leading up to it, I think there was a lot of good moments as well. Um, I really loved Endgame. I think it's I can watch. I know that to me, Endgame is probably top five like most rewatchable in in the MCU. I could just sit down, just put it on, and just be happy.
Well, I mean,
Um,
it's like almost 3 fucking hours. You
yeah,
just.
yeah. Even and I would. The thing is, even with the 3 hours, it doesn't feel like that to me. It don't feel 3 hours. Like it feels like it's just smooth. It's really really well done. I really just enjoy the fact that they had so many characters, so many different people that you had to have in this movie, and they found a way to you know give everyone some little moment to shine. I think that was just really good. Um, Such a fucking huge cast that I don't even know how the fuck they're gonna do um Doomsday or even Secret Wars. Like I have no idea how they're gonna do it.
uh,
But Endgame makes it worth it.
yeah.
I feel like it's if it could be anything close to Endgame, then it's a win. So yeah, Endgame's S tier for me. Yeah.
I had Endgame as like pretty much the highest or close to the highest A tier. Um,
Okay.
but I
That's what I
I might
figured.
as
I
well
figured you
just
would have
like
it.
I'm not gonna, if there's a movie that I'm not gonna move, it's
Hmm.
Endgame, because that movie I went to see almost 10 times, and I literally
Yeah.
saw that movie in more than one state, so a whole other population of people I saw this movie with, and every single time. Oh, and I also went with 8 different groups of people, or at least
Yeah.
on the. So every single time you had tears at Tony's death, you had
Yes.
applause at On Your Left. It's
Hmm.
just this movie hit, and I also don't know how they're gonna do Doomsday, but I didn't know how they were gonna do Endgame. All I knew is that Endgame was gonna try to do something that they've been building up like no other, you know,
Anything has ever done.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Hollywood, because I don't know. For all I know, there is a Bollywood series that does this. I have no idea. But in terms of Hollywood movies, nothing like this has ever been attempted on this scale. And if Infinity War is their best comic book movie, Endgame clearly is their most ambitious. And
Yeah.
it definitely nailed. If you talk about double page spreads, this thing, that scene of motherfuckers popping out of portals, there's nothing that grand of a scale. There's nothing like that where there's so many characters you can point to and have and feel some type of connection with. Yeah, goosebumps and all that shit. There's just no other franchise that's this big, like that could pull that off, and that did. Definitely not perfect. You ignore a lot of the convoluted time travel shit. You ignore the
Yeah.
continuity
Yeah.
shit with Ant Man in the background, yet he's in the van. You ignore all of that because of how ambitious this movie was and how it made you feel. They made you wait for that Avengers Assemble line. They made you fucking wait. And the only other comic book phrase I've waited longer to hear on screen in an impactful way is, to me, my X Men. As a Marvel fan and as an X Men fan, unabashedly, I'm just waiting to hear that. You know, I heard an X Men '97, but I'm waiting to get it on the screen. Like from a
Live action. Yeah.
yeah, from a Cyclops and from a ensemble of mutants that. But this made you wait to hear it. It was impactful when he said it. Didn't even have to yell it. You yelled it when you heard it. You yelled it. You know what I'm saying? That's how.
Yeah.
And finally, speaking of waiting for things, and the aforementioned scene in Age of Ultron with the hammer. I mean, Captain
Oh,
America.
him getting the
Yeah,
hammer.
Captain
Yeah.
America
Yeah.
wielding the hammer and 1v1ing Thanos when everything seems. Motherfucker got a broken arm, broken shield, just standing one against an army. I mean, that moment, man, it hits every single time. So, you know,
The
Avengers
thought of it
Endgame,
just, I'm already getting goosebumps. I'm just thinking about it. Like, I'm just thinking about
Doomsday,
that last
Doomsday,
45 minutes, bro.
yeah, Doomsday has, we're putting this on it, but at the same time, they advertised this movie with a bunch of empty chairs and just names on it. They know what we're expecting.
They
We're
they have to. I think if you even just look at the previews with your boy Cyclops, like that's what the fact that they showed that preview
yeah,
tells me they know what the fuck they're like.
Doomsday is the thing is, though, I think we're wrong. I know this is not what this is about, but real quick, Doomsday is not, like, we're all comparing it to Endgame, but I don't think we are supposed to do that. I think we're supposed to compare Doomsday to Infinity War,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
the real big splash ensemble scenes that should dwarf Endgames, because you're adding all the Fox characters on it and the other MCU characters on it that have been added since Endgame.
Right.
You know, and to be honest, some Endgame characters deserve better representation in the, like Hulk and shit like that. So, you know, Doomsday's really probably even more to his detriment, being compared to what I think is a better movie. It should be compared
Right.
to Infinity War.
Yeah.
The only thing is that Infinity War had the Thanos build up that paid off with his victory, and we're getting a Doomsday kind of out of nowhere that looks like Tony. So it's very, I don't know what they're doing in terms of that. But anyway, yeah,
Either way, it should be a banger. Yeah.
Endgame S tier, I two super rewatchable. You
Yes.
could put this shit on a Casio
Probably gonna
watch
watch it right after this.
at 150 by 150 pixel bit rate, and I'll still fucking watch it. You
Yeah.
know. So yeah, I'm not gonna argue that one. You got it. Moving on. Let's go to an A tier. We mentioned this movie before. Um, Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna put it at A. I will put Thor Ragnarok. I put it ahead of Deadpool.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna put it ahead of Iron Man. It would be around here. Let's see how it plays
Yeah.
out with other A's that come out. But Thor Ragnarok, I got it at A. Good balance between the comedy and the action. It was a huge ensemble movie, but it was a Thor movie.
It was a Thor. Yeah.
Loki's great in here.
Yeah.
I mean, this was I mean, this besides what we see in Infinity War, this is the last time we see the Thor and Loki dynamic.
Yeah.
And I mean, until he proves otherwise, Thor kind of seems like he needs Loki to be at his best because every time he's not with him, he's either Love and Thunder or he's Fat Thor. You know what I mean? Which no one really cares for. Yeah, but he did have the moment when he flexed and, like you said, he shows up. But I'm just saying, character wise, not just badass moment wise. So
Hmm.
far, he hasn't really been able to do much outside of the dynamic with his brother. But yeah,
I,
Thor
I
Ragnarok's
feel you on
great.
that.
Hella, hopefully she's not dead. Kate Blanchett was amazing. Hopefully
Hmm.
she'll come back somehow. Because otherwise it's another example of wasting a villain, a good quality
That
villain.
is true.
Um,
Yes.
and then it's also introduced some good characters like Valkyrie and Korg. So really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, and again, it's one of the best examples of them walking that tightrope. I think maybe only the Deadpool series does it better. Uh, but it's strictly comedy action. This one walks that line, and it does it with a character that you don't really no
Expect
one
it.
really had Thor in this comedic of a role before as a character, but you can do it. You can do it. And
Yeah.
even though this kind of bastardizes the Planet Hulk storyline, and I still wish we got a Planet Hulk storyline, it was still good. And also shout out to the fucking what's his name, the game master, whatever.
Pork.
No,
Oh.
no, the villain, the guy, the Jeff Goldblum, isn't he the game master?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
The
like that.
collector. It's the
No, not
collector.
the collector, not Televertan, not Benicio del Toro, not him. I'm talking about the game
Oh.
master, the
Oh.
one
I
with the
thought. I
party
thought.
ship.
Oh no. No. I
They're
know who you're talking
related. They're
about, but I
related because
thought.
they're part of the same
I.
race. They're part of the same
Yeah. Okay.
race.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought Jeff Goldblum was collector. Okay.
No,
I
no,
got the
Benicio del
actors
Toro's
mixed up.
collector. Yeah.
Got you.
But
Got you.
anyway, yeah, I
Okay.
got it at A.
Okay. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I love Ragnarok, so I'm cool where it is. As long as it's an A, I'm happy. Ragnarok's good. Um, it's definitely by far the best Thor movie. It's not even close. Um, all right, so I'm gonna end my last S. I'm just gonna throw it up there.
One more
Um,
S. What you
I have
got?
one more S, and then I'm done with S's for now, at least, unless you somehow add something. Um, and just gonna continue the streak. I'm going with Avengers One. I think Avengers One to me is it's my third favorite movie. Um, I absolutely love Avengers One. I think Avengers One probably is the most watchable Avengers movie for sure. I don't think you need to be
Where?
a it would be right after No Way Home. Um I think it's the most watchable rewatchable movie in the MCU. I think what's so good about it, you don't have to be a comic book fan to watch. Like it kind of just it shows them coming together and why they need to come together and why um they work together so well. I think the final battle scene was amazing. I thought Loki was amazing. I think their interactions with each other was amazing. Um, I mean, it had mixed emotions, it had funny parts, it had everything you would want in a comic book movie. I think that's what Avengers has, just top to bottom. Everybody has a big moment, or several moments, I should say. Um, I mean, you got Hulk being Hulk, you know, like he should be. Thor
Uh,
being Thor, Loki and his dynamic, like him talking to Natasha when he's in the jail, like that was cool. The whole Hulk scene, him chasing Natasha, and then them just saying Hulk smash, and he just goes smash. I love that scene. The whole thing when he's destroying Loki and basically killing Loki. You feel like. I love the interaction with Loki and Iron Man. Like, you even get a little bit of Thanos. Like, I mean, it's just like there's. It was just a really great movie. I really love that movie, and I think it's deserving of an S tier. Like I said, my three favorite movies of all time from the MCU is No Way Home, Endgame, and Avengers. And then Infinity War would be four for me. So it's like as long as it's S tier, I'm good. So I pass it to you.
um, I'm gonna sound like a hater. I agree with so much of what you said. I really do. I'm gonna leave Avengers at S. I had an A, one of the highest A's, but I had an A. Because if we're talking about for its time, yeah, it was pretty much that mini Endgame moment where, and up until that point, no other Hollywood franchise really tried to do with this either. Pulling together these separate franchises and putting them into one tied cohesive narrative. Um, Compared to the other Avengers movies, I feel like you got to turn your brain off more for this one and ignore both the villain's plans and what, because it doesn't make sense when you analyze it more deeply. But at the time, nobody gave a shit. I saw this movie seven
Right.
times in the theater. I saw it maybe 30 more times afterward on DVD or on Blu-ray and shit, and on whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie a ton of times. The moments are great. Again, gotta give him credit. Josh Whedon knows how to write an ensemble. You can close your eyes, just read the script, and you know who the fuck is talking. Just because he knows how to capture how each character speaks, and it feeling like they're saying it, like that character's saying it.
Right.
Yeah, Avengers, great movie. I'm not gonna fight you to knock it down a peg or nothing like that. But I did have it at A because I felt like more than Infinity War and more than Endgame, kind of have to turn the brain off for it. But at the time, pure popcorn and spectacle, there was nothing like
Hmm.
it, and it's a solid movie. Hawkeye, unfortunately, is the one that I don't think gets enough shine. He was the one that got turned or whatever. I think it would have been more interesting if he turned. Honestly, if he would have turned probably any other of the characters, Hawkeye out of all of them was the least utilized up until that point. So for him to be turned and you know that was
Yeah.
that kind of
No, I
sucked
can
because
see that.
even Natasha was in other move, like she was in Iron Man 2. Hawkeye was barely in Thor 1. Like he didn't do
Yeah.
anything. Natasha did more than that. So yeah, I would have wished for him not to be the one to turn, but whatever. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Puny God always make me laugh, and yeah, it was really good. All right, so we got that one out of the way. My turn. All right,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna put a D tier thing there, and I'll just get it out of the way. Marvel Zombies, I got a D. And I would put it below She Hulk. Marvel Zombies is another one of those, you know, franchises that when you think about the comic book impact that it had, everybody was doing zombie shit after Marvel Zombies did. Like DC even did a whole deceased, much after Marvel Zombies, but Marvel Zombies was a crazy hit comic book wise. And this unfortunately felt too much like a spin-off of What If, and What If was mid as at best. Uh and it leaned too much on the Wanda zombie, on that whole, the fact that it's not just a zombie, it's Wanda as a zombie. Imagine, and yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much. I watched it the one time. Not gonna watch it again. It had some moments that made me laugh, but Marvel Zombies shouldn't be making me laugh. you
Right.
know, like that's not what Marvel Zombies should be. Tonally, I felt like it was a complete miss. I felt that tone wise, Marvel Zombies is like they tried to make Sesame Street Zombies. They Disneyfied Marvel Zombies, and that's
Mhm.
not what this should have been. There's a reason why when T'Challa in the 2016, 2018 Secret Wars, there's a reason why when he goes and brings the Marvel Zombie universe over into Battle World, into Doom's part of of the universe, that's a big deal and scary. There's a reason why that had an impact, and it's because everybody that was familiar with the Marvel Zombies and how destructive they were and shit and dangerous. Yeah, but this is like Sesame Street fuzzy time zombie shit. So I don't see them being able to do anything else with it. Even though I did hear they're gonna do a season 2 of this. So I don't know. It was a tone miss, and I got it at D.
Yeah. Um, I'm cool if I never watched it. So,
You didn't even watch it?
um,
Come on, man.
nah, I don't really care for it. Wasn't interesting enough for me. So, I'm cool with where you have
You
it.
should read it though. If you
But
get a chance to read the Marvel Zombies, you should. It's
I've
good.
read about it before.
No, I'm not read about it. I mean, actually read it. It's pretty good. All right,
Oh,
your turn.
okay. We'll just stay at D. We're
Okay,
gonna go with
what you got?
Brave New World, Captain America with Falcon. Um, I think I will put it at the top of D. It's not a
Ah,
bad movie.
sorry, I'm
I don't th-
immature.
I don't think huh?
I'm immature. I laughed. You say you're gonna put top of D.
Oh.
Go ahead, go.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's
You don't think it's a bad movie,
great.
but you put it at D?
I put it at D because I don't like it's not. I think it's a step below average, but it's not bad. Like F's are the bad movie. It's like teetering between D and C. Like if you
Okay,
put it at C, I wouldn't be mad at you. Um,
that's where I
I just
had it.
don't think
That's where I had it. By the way,
you have it at C.
I had it at
Like I
C.
wouldn't be mad at it at C, but it's not.
I'm not gonna waste a turn, but
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. I just not a big. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of it. I was like, it's just not. But it's not bad. It's just not good either. Like so.
yeah, I had it at C because C for me is like mid. Like, and I thought it was mid at best, only because even though the fight with Hulk was pretty cool, that was it wasn't the shade of Hulk that we wanted to be hulking out like that. But we got Red Hulk hulking out instead of our Bruce Hulk. The last time we saw Bruce Hulk, he was at a fucking barbecue with his weird haircut kid that we're probably not gonna see
Right.
again. But anyway, um, yeah. So the fight scenes were cool. Even the fight scene with John Carlos Esposito's character Viper or whatever the fuck his name was. Even all the
Hmm.
fights were cool. Like and Sam Wilson seemed, at least when it came to the fighting shit, a capable Cap. But this movie was more a 20-year-old Hulk resolution movie than it was a Captain America 4. I think that for the same reasons that I knocked like the Marvels for not being enough of a for what I thought should have been just a Captain Marvel movie, this one was, split between being a Sam Wilson, oh, I gotta earn this suit. I gotta earn being an icon the way Steve would, like in my own way. I gotta earn in the same way it had the unresolved shit from the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. It's had to split that time with bringing back the leader after 20 years. Like, I felt like completely unnecessary. Like, do that in a fucking Hulk movie. Do that in a Hulk movie that we haven't gotten. But instead, they
Right.
shoehorned that plot line and split the time with that. I felt like Brave New World was an opportunity for them to, okay, you want to write a story following up from Falcon Winter Soldier, and Sam's still struggling with earning that spot. You got the original Black Captain America. You got him right there. Do a storyline about that. The Black, White, and Red, I think, storyline, or Red, White, and Black, or something. I think the comic series that they did. I'm forgetting the name of that character though. But anyway, do a whole storyline of that. And if you want to put Bucky back into the mix, who understands being a twisted, manipulated soldier more than Bucky? Have him be more part of it. You know what I'm saying? And him help Sam step up. Whatever the fuck. But anyway, it became half a Hulk movie. This one used nostalgia wrong. This one used nostalgia wrong. And I love Harrison Ford, but I don't know how much impact this is gonna have. We'll see when we see New Avengers and how Sam is leading his mystery team of Avengers or whatever. It could have been him recruiting them in this or something. I don't know. That said, I said I like the action. I actually did like Sam. I did. But I liked the new Falcon probably even more. That new sidekick guy that stepped up. I don't know the actor's name, but he was cool. He was very likable in every scene he was into. Yeah. So I had it as C, but I'm not gonna fight you for D. As a ranking. Pause. All right. Let's just get this one out of the way, nice and easy. I don't think we're gonna have much to say about it because we did kind of sideways mention some of it before. Easy F tier and one of my least. I mean, I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I'm gonna put it last, even more than Inhumans, because I actually watched this, and you talk about inconsequential. You talk about fucking fumbling. Secret Invasion was one of those comic stories that crossed into the casual like like media sphere. Like when Secret Invasion came out as a comic series, you had casual motherfuckers wanting to know what happened. Like that's the kind of at the time the comic book the impact that had. It was that cool of a story. The idea that all sleeper agent scrolls, shapeshifters, they could be anybody. That was cool. This show made that not only look lame, it made Nick Fury look impotent, and it shoehorned Amelia Clark into a role and a character that I know for a fact we'll never see again, and hopefully not. Because what the fuck? Like she has every power known to man, including Captain Marvels and everybody else. You know. So I got Secret Invasion to F. Um, dog shit.
I have no. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
nothing to
it
say
was
about
just terrible.
that.
It
Yeah,
was completely
that's
terrible.
just
It
terrible.
undid all of Nick Fury's character development, and it's not. I know it's not going anywhere. So yeah, I got it at F.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see the list one more.
What list?
Scroll down real quick because I
Oh, you
can't.
mean these? Okay.
Uh,
I could just read out
okay.
loud what we got left. I could just read out loud real quick what we got left. We
I
got
got. Let's just. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
we got Agatha all along, Agent Carter, Ant Man Wasp, Captain America, the original Avenger or some shit like that. Captain
Yeah.
Marvel, Daredevil, Born Again, Defenders, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Echo, Eyes on Wakanda, The Falcon Winter Soldier, Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man, Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Fist, Iron Heart, Iron Man 2, Loki, Luke Cage, Punisher, Spider Man, Homecoming, Dark World, Thunderbolts, Wakanda Forever, and Wonder Man. We
All
got
right.
through
I'm
most
gonna.
of the list. We got through most of it.
All right. So I'm gonna try for an A.
Okay.
And let's see if you change it. But I think that because of what I see at A, I don't see how this isn't up there.
Okay. What you got?
I'm gonna go with Thunderbolts at A. I think Thunderbolts is an underrated A.
Where?
It'll be at the end.
At the end?
Um, I think that it's one of those where it could be a B or A. For me, like I'll be fine with either one. I'll be shocked if you have it lower. Um, but I think it fits well because it kind of fits that. Um, Obviously it's not Avengers, I know. But it has that great dynamic of the team working well together. The comedy's good. I like Sentry. I like obviously Elena is amazing as always. Red Guardian's hilarious as always. Um I like the whole incorporation of Bucky into this as well. He fits that mold as the serious one. Um I really like that. I'm not a big fan of how they did Taskmaster. I know you kind of said what happened to her earlier. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wish they could have done more with that. But other than that, especially, I think she's on the cover, right? Yeah, she's on the cover. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of weird. But maybe they just said, "Yeah, we already screwed up. We're just gonna end it." Um, but either way, I really like Thunderbolts. I really did. It was just it wasn't a movie I expected to like
Yeah.
as much as I did, but I actually really enjoyed it. I don't know, maybe it's just Elena. I really like anything Elena's in, but um, I give it an A. I give it an A.
I know this is gonna sound funny. I love Thunderbolts. I loved it. It was a very pleasant surprise. Um, and I'm happy to know that the writing team, or at least the head writer of Thunderbolts, or the director rather, is going to be the director for the upcoming MCU X-Men project. Because he
Okay.
showed, for the reasons that you were saying, this is a good ensemble movie. And the X-Men is nothing but a team, an ensemble. Um, Chemistry, I agree, amongst the characters was great, and the Thunderbolts movie did a good job of even redeeming a character that I thought wasn't handled that great in Falcon Winter Soldier, in U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
The
Me too.
he had an interesting story arc in this as well, and good chemistry with the other characters as well. Um, I liked how this was resolved. This wasn't a gun battle fight. This was a talk no jutsu Naruto type of ending. That's fine, but it had enough action leading up to it, and I think it made sense for it to end that way. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, Falcon. I'm sorry, Sam Wilson in Cap 4 tried to talk no jutsu as well. I thought it was less impactful, even though that's what he did.
Yeah.
I thought it was less impactful than Yelena doing it. I don't know why, and it shouldn't have felt like that because that's what Sam does. He would help people. He was a therapist. He's a therapist.
Yeah.
Um,
Did it feel? It felt like Black Widow too. Like that's why I loved. I don't know. I love Black Widow, and I felt like this was like a sequel to it. It's
I
just weird, but
I understand. I mean,
I just
it had three characters from there, so I
yeah.
could understand why it felt that way. Um, but yeah, Yelena, the actress, Pugh, Florence Pugh,
Florence Pugh. Yeah.
yeah, she's great. She's just great. And she carries, but even though she carries, she's MVP, but she's not. It Everybody else is balanced enough that it doesn't feel like it's all on her. And I
It's
too enjoy everything that she's
98
in, and I
Bulls.
want more of her. I'm hoping the MCU does better by her than they did by Natasha. Like, to be honest, up until they recast, like a Black Widow, we get another one alive again. Like in the reboot or whatever that might come after Secret Wars. So yeah, I had this at B, like a very high B, only because Taskmaster, that fucking waste of a character.
Yeah.
Um, that, and because, like I said, it did have a talk no jutsu ending, even though it felt earned. Uh, I'm very excited to see what they do with this team. The other reason I had it at B is because even though this was Thunderbolts, the Thunderbolts I know from the comics, they're not lovable like this. They're more Suicide Squatty. You know what I mean? They're more
Um,
like Bullseye being Hawkeye and Iron Man being Iron Patriot, Norman Osborn in the suit, that type of shit. Very
yeah.
shady, dark Avengers type shit. So when I hear Thunderbolts, I think of that, and this felt more like a team that I'm rooting for because they're actually good guys. You know what I mean? They're actually good guys. So for that reason, tonally, it wasn't all there for me. It felt miss. But again, it's not Thunderbolts, right? It's New Avengers because
It's
the
New
asterisk,
Avengers. Yeah.
right? It's New Avengers. But even with New Avengers, I'm like, okay, so we got New Avengers before GTA 6 and the Young Avengers, like which we've been
Yeah.
building up before this. So I was like, that's how I felt. So that for that reason, I had a kind of a B because I don't know where it's gonna land. Even though I loved this movie, I really did. Um, but
So we pretty much started around the same thing because I have
yeah,
it
yeah,
low
like
A, I B.
I won't fight you
Yeah.
on that one. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. I did enjoy it a lot, and that's a
So,
movie that if it's on, fuck yeah, I'll rewatch it. Hell yeah,
yeah, yeah. I've
yeah.
rewatched it like three
and
times
and I'm
already.
rewatching it not even for the action. I'm rewatching it for the character stuff. Like it's good. It's well written.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited that this is the director they're gonna have do the X Men. I hope he gives as much care to that team as he did in this one. All right, so we're almost. I say we're almost done. We're like 66% done. But I think also energy wise, voice wise, and hunger wise, we're done. And we don't want to keep people here for a marathon. So part two of this will probably be just us finishing it. If you're
Yeah.
cool with that, Fino.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll finish the list. Thank you for whoever watched. We got 10 views somehow. All right, cool.
Oh,
Uh,
cool. Thanks for everybody.
that's nine more than I thought we'd get. um
Hey, man. What
the
can I say? The Fino effect, man. That was
no, hey, next time
fun.
you'll actually advertise this in your server. Which do you want
Yeah.
to plug now?
Well, I did post a link, but
Oh, good.
I did post a link. I didn't write too much about it though.
I'll add it to
What
the
was I gonna say?
description. I'll add it to the description.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, so for those that are watching, if I don't know if you're a gamer or you just like watching sports and stuff, do a lot of watch parties in the Discord. If you're a Discord person, join the Discord. It's called Drake Riot's Casa. I am the owner, aka sovereign of the Casa. So yeah, just the link will be in the bio
I'll
down
add it to
below.
the description. I will. I
He's
promise.
gonna add it to the description. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, we're just a fun, loving community. We be having fun, joking around and stuff like that, playing a bunch of different games like Rivals and other stuff like that. I do a lot of watch parties for UFC too. So anyway, yeah, cool.
All right. So thank y'all for watching. We'll continue this list and our debates and all that stuff, and then eventually the seating at a future date. Hopefully not too long from now, but maybe in a week. We'll finish this up. And thanks again for watching. I'm going to end the stream.